Good morning. Good morning.
Visit his website. Read the testimonials from his patients. I love Dr. Nathan, and you will too. He has
Getting
years
ready to
of
go live
experience
now.
and impressive credentials that make Dr. Nathan the only plastic surgeon you need visit. He'll advise you and tell you
Welcome,
the
welcome.
best course of action so that you will always remain true to who you are. You can contact Dr. Nathan for a no-charge consultation by calling 305 area code 680-51.
Good morning, everyone.
That's area code 305-680-5121 or online at drnathan.com.
Yes, we're live on Christmas Eve, as crazy as that sounds.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the Sunshine State after all. And
That's
our skin
right.
bears the brunt of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor to take care of this for you.
Good morning, good morning.
Dr. Mendez is
Just
a
a couple minutes, we'll be live.
dermatologist.
I walked in with my sunglasses on my shirt today. Should I broadcast like this?
And skin
What do you
cancer
think?
free. You want Dr. Mendez as your personal dermatologist. Dr. Mendez is caring and very knowledgeable.
Yeah,
Your annual skin
I
cancer
can't see.
checkup is covered by Medicare. Dr. Mendez also takes most other insurances. Steve KANE recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined him from head to toe, took off a few things, and now Steve
Hey,
is
Laura.
good to go. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681. When you call, make sure to ask for Sarah. She takes extra good care of Steve Kane listeners and will get you an appointment fast.
I should do this every day.
Skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez.
People
right
will think
now
I'm
at
blind if I do this, won't they?
954-431-7681. 954-431-7681.
I had them on my shirt because I had them by the front door with my keys when I left. I was going to grab these because after the show it'll be sunny. We're in Florida, you know.
For single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida,
Just about to start work, yeah.
Plantation, and Coral Springs.
Ray-Ban Radio Man, yeah.
855 FLA.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
The opinions expressed in the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host.
Oh, I got
guests,
an
and
itch.
callers, and not necessarily those of the station, but staff,
Oh,
management,
hey,
or
Dan.
sponsors.
The Steve Kane Show
Ugh.
is live in Morning Drive. 6
Nothing like a
to
great
9
bag
a.m.
scratcher.
weekdays, And overnights, midnight till 6 a.m. 7 nights a week. To call the show.
All right. Yes. Good morning, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. It is Christmas Eve. We are here live. We'll be off tomorrow and Thursday and back live Friday. Okay, so we'll be back live Friday after today. We will take off Christmas. We will take off the day after Christmas. And be back live on Friday morning for everyone. Welcome to the show. So much to talk about. Lots to get into. I've got some really sad news to report here. Oh, yeah, if you're a liberal, right? If you're a liberal. Saturday shopping. Now, this is this past Saturday. The last Saturday before Christmas. The left, they're so obsessed with Trump, they've forgotten the war on Christmas this year. Saturday shopping, this is a story that's everywhere. This is Bloomberg, one of your Democrat candidates out there. The last Saturday before Christmas we're talking about. Saturday shopping set a single-day sales record, analysts say. Now, this is what Bloomberg says. You can't question this. This is one of your Democrats. Holiday shopping set records over the weekend with Super Saturday. I guess they have Black Friday and Super Saturday. I've never heard of Super Saturday before, but now we got it because of Trump. Holiday shopping set records over the weekend with Super Saturday sales reaching $34.4 billion with a B. The biggest single day in U.S. retail history. Did you hear that? The biggest single day in U.S. retail history, thanks to President Trump. Paced by the big 4 mega retailers, Walmart, Amazon, Costco, and Target, Super Saturday was the best traffic they have seen in years. Job growth and fatter wallets. This is all because of Trump. Don't you, I know this is bad news if you're, and they're all upset that they forgot the war on Christmas. One of the biggest economic times each and every year for retailers, and the left are always out there trying to cause the economy to tank around Christmas with their war on Christmas. Job growth and fatter wallets, along with stronger household finances, have put consumers in a buying mood this season. And this is Bloomberg I'm reading from. You can't question that. Yeah, Bill Maher wanted a recession. That's right. Sometimes you need a good recession. Yeah, so, well, let everybody cancel HBO. Okay, let's have an HBO recession. Oh, man. As retailers offer improved web platforms, online spending so far this season has accounted for 58% of sales growth from a year earlier. Super Saturday results topped Black Friday's $31.2 billion by 10%. The next biggest shopping days were December 14th. It's huge. Bigger than Black Friday. Yeah, I haven't had HBO for a long time. I got HBO briefly just to watch the final season of Game of Thrones, which had a very disappointing ending. I might get HBO for a month so I can binge Westworld. Is that coming back? It's been off the air for like 5 years, Westworld. So here we are. Boom. It says here, while foot traffic was down at most malls, the conversion rate, or the percentage of people who go to the malls and make a purchase, rose. Even long-struggling department stores had their best weekend of the season. See, this is an interesting thing because mall traffic is down because of online shopping. But people are going to the malls, they're buyers. This is an interesting thing, and I hope that the malls take note of this because I love the mall. You guys like them? I love the mall. We do a lot of shopping on Amazon too, but I love the mall, and I like going to the mall. And foot traffic is down, but I never thought of it that way until this story came out, that the people that are going there are actual shoppers going to buy, not just to loiter around. So that's some good stuff. Welcome, everyone, to the great news. Now, if you're a Democrat, if you're a liberal, this is very bad news. Super Saturday, they had the biggest economic record, biggest retail day in history. Oh, I've talked about this a lot. There's a phrase that I've heard every election my entire life that I don't hear at all. I haven't heard since Trump became president. People vote their pocketbooks. Remember, you used to hear that all the time. No matter what the president's doing, people vote. When Bill Clinton was being accused of assault and rape and all these things, and interns and masturbating in the sink and all this stuff at the Oval Office, people said, yeah, but the economy's booming. Look at the NASDAQ, because that's when the Microsoft was booming, for the first time. And people said, Americans vote their pocketbook. Americans vote their wallet. Doesn't matter, economic. But they don't talk about that anymore because, and a lot of this, it's not just because people are making a lot more money. I saw a story on Fox over the weekend that said the average household is earning over $5,000 more under Trump. Isn't that crazy? A year, that's a lot of money. How many mortgage payments is that? How many rent payments is that? Huh? How many car payments is that? Maybe a year or more of car payments, depending on your payment. But, it's absolutely amazing what's going on. And a lot of what people do so far as spending, also, it's almost like a futures market. It's not just that people have more money coming into their home now to spend, because Americans don't save, we all spend it all. But they look at the economic future, and things are looking good because of Trump being reelected, and we have a good future ahead of us too, not just today. So this is momentous. If you're just tuning in, the Saturday before Christmas, the largest retail shopping day in history, breaking even Black Friday by 10%. That's huge, 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 huge. Oh boy, so we got a lot going on, a lot to talk about. AOC is out there. We're going to hear from Kevin McCarthy. We got a lot of things going on today. It is Christmas Eve. We are here live. Just to let everyone know, I still live stream. I've changed up what I've been doing so far as live streaming the radio show. I live stream on YouTube now. So if you want to watch us live stream, just go to YouTube, Brian Craig on YouTube. Brian Craig on YouTube. We live stream each and every day on YouTube. And chat room is there, and it's pretty active. And the YouTube community is growing and growing each and every day, even during this holiday period. So go to YouTube, Brian Craig on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. It is free, even though it says subscribe. And I also upload my podcast to my YouTube channel. So Brian Craig on YouTube. You can watch us live stream the radio show. Check out my podcast. And I also put a lot of other videos up there, too, throughout the day. I'm always either live streaming or making a video and posting it up there on YouTube. So Brian Craig on the YouTube. And if you go there right now and watch us, I walked in the studio today, even though it's dark outside, with my Ray-Bans. So I'm wearing my sunglasses. Kind of look like Stevie Wonder. I will have to take them off in a minute. And something that I am adding, I've talked about adding this before and haven't, which I'll talk about after the first break. One of the most popular segments we have ever had on the Steve Kane Show is coming back for the new year. And we'll talk about that after the break. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show. It's so bright in here. I took my sunglasses off. Holy smokes. Oh, man. We'll take our last break before Christmas. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Our number is a toll-free call from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE1. Although, you know what? The economy is doing so well, maybe we should start charging you guys to call, $0.25 a call. No, I'm kidding. We're not going to charge you to call. 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I want you liberals out there, are you excited that we had the largest day on Saturday in the history of retail in the United States? Is this good news or bad news to you Democrats? All right, let's take our break and be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Denture wearers, are messy adhesives ruining the taste of your food? Is it painful for you to eat? Does the constant denture movement affect your speech? Are you always worried that your dentures will fall out while you're talking or laughing? Do you have sore spots? You are not alone. These
Good
are
morning,
common
everyone.
problems that can be solved simply with dental implants.
Make sure you
This is
subscribe.
Steve Kane, and I want to introduce you to Brighton Dental Care, where the Kane family goes for all our dental needs. Brighton Dental Care
Hey, Nick.
doesn't
Hey,
want
Shirley.
cost to stop you from being able to eat the foods you love again and live in comfort. That's why, for Steve Kane listeners, they're offering implants, get this, for just $3,500. That includes 2 implants plus a lower denture. Now, if you go to a dentist in Boca or in Aventura, they're going to charge you $6,000 for the exact same implants and denture. That's right, $6,000. But at Brighton Dental Care, just $3,500, and that includes the 2 implants plus your lower denture. Laugh and live with confidence. Call Brighton Dental Care at 954-922-4633, 954.
Welcome back, everyone. Let me see. What am I going to do next?
And online at BrightonDentalCare.com. Be sure to ask about special discounts
Oh,
for
yes.
military veterans.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected.
Oh,
Living in
yes.
South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the Sunshine State after all, and our skin bears the brunt of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor to take care of this
Where is
for you
this
than
story?
Dr. Jose Mendez. Dr. Mendez is a board-certified dermatologist.
Where is
and when
this
it comes
story?
to caring for your skin and making sure that it is healthy as possible and skin cancer-free, you want Dr. Mendez as your personal dermatologist. Dr. Mendez is caring and very knowledgeable. Your annual skin cancer exam is covered by Medicare. Dr. Mendez also takes most other insurances. Steve Kane recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined him from head to toe, took off a few things, and now Steve is good to go. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681. When you call, make sure to ask for Sarah.
Here we go.
She takes extra good care of Steve Kane listeners.
That's
and will
right.
give you an appointment fast. Early detection of skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681.
Where's Nick going?
Hey guys, are you losing your hair? Stop hair loss in its tracks and call Dr. Mitch Matez for a free consultation. Talk to him about hormone replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy will stop hair loss in its tracks, and the hair you have left will grow in thicker and fuller. Stop your hair loss.
Hey, Desiree.
Call Dr. Matez.
Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, everything else.
5490. 561-953-5490. Online at hormonetherapybocaraton.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for.
All right, welcome back. It's Christmas Eve. We are here live. Oh man, we'll be off tomorrow and Thursday. Back live on Friday. You know, I went to broadcasting school. And oh my goodness, it worked out well. But I did go to broadcasting school, and on my first day in broadcasting school, my teacher, who was this old '70s rock DJ from New York, who was deaf because he'd had headphones listening to rock and roll his whole life. He on my first day in broadcasting school, he went around the classroom and gave each of us a dictionary. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. First day of broadcasting school, he gave each of us a dictionary, and he had us look up the word. He said, "Look up the word holiday," and we all looked up the word holiday. He says, "I want you to take your pen that you have and block that word out of the dictionary because it doesn't exist to you anymore. You're broadcasters now. There's no holidays." Well, we're taking one tomorrow. Oh man, so much going on, so much to talk about. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Morning, Brian. I want to wish you and your parents Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year, and God bless you.
Well, don't you want to wish my black daughter happy Kwanzaa? What are you, racist or something?
No. Happy and Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa.
Yeah, happy Kwanzaa. Does anyone still do Kwanzaa? I used to hear about Kwanzaa all the time, and I don't hear about it anymore. Do black people still do Kwanzaa? Did any black people really do it? Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, Merry Christmas to you. What are you doing for Christmas?
Nothing much. I'm going to spend time with my wife.
Oh, well, that's good. You have kids?
No, we have no kids. We're both handicapped.
Oh.
And he had a stroke not too long.
Oh, my goodness. You have 1 foot and your wife had a stroke?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That's awful. That's awful. So I guess you guys don't get out much.
No, we don't. We listen to you all the time. We love your show.
Well, you know, the thing about... Well, the best show on radio. Thank you so much. Yeah. You know, I tell you, though, you know, with talk radio, one thing I learned about talk radio early on is there are so many people in situations like yours. You know, there are a lot of blind people that listen to talk radio. A lot of blind people listen to talk radio. And the greatest call I ever had was from a blind listener, and it's when I first started. And I wish I had this on tape, but I don't. But this blind, I'm not making this true story. Blind guy, he calls up. He was very angry at me, and we got into an argument. And he yelled at me. He said, "You sighted bastard!" And he hung up on me. He called me a sighted bastard. But no, a lot of people that sadly are disabled and can't get around listen to talk radio, and all of you are certainly in our prayers. So that's tough. Well, thank you, and your wife have a great Christmas tomorrow.
Trump is going to be reelected with a landslide, and I hope they acquit him very soon.
Well, wait, now let me ask you, because this is important, because your wife had a stroke, you have 1 foot, you don't get out. How do you vote? How are you going to vote for President Trump? You don't vote?
Oh, but I do love Donald Trump a lot, so I think he's the greatest. Well,
you can vote. Wait, no. We need your vote. Are you here in Florida?
Yeah.
We need your vote. You can vote absentee.
I will.
Okay, you'll vote absentee. Okay, you and your wife both vote. You vote absentee. Okay, we don't want to lose any votes.
He needs Donald Trump.
Yeah, he does. What do you think about this story that Saturday was the largest sales day in the history of U.S. retail, the Saturday before Christmas, the largest retail sales day in history? Yeah.
Awesome.
What do you think Pelosi thinks about that, and Schumer?
Oh, well, they're having a stroke from that.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I mean, think about this. All these Democrats that are running for president, and this was in Bloomberg who's running too. So all these Democrats, including Bloomberg, whose news publication published the story I just read, in the first segment. They're saying this: the largest sales day in the history of U.S. retail. Well, I want to change all that. Vote for me. I'm better. This is not the way it should be. Everything Trump's doing is wrong. Vote for. That's insane. When you have an economy that's doing so well, that's completely insane to suggest that we should change leaders when we're doing so well economically. It makes no sense.
The holy Clinton lost.
That's right.
Babies.
That's right. That's right. Well, listen, appreciate the call, and you and your wife have a great and very happy and merry Christmas. Oh, God bless you.
Merry Christmas to Steve, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Merry Christmas to Steve as well. Yes, yes, yes. Steve will be here today. Oh, man. I know. Boy, and that's an interesting thing, because here you got a guy and his wife who are both pretty, they're disabled and homebound, and they just love Trump. They just love Trump. Oh, yeah. Now, I'm under the impression, maybe I'm wrong, but Joe Biden's running for president of the United States, right? Joe Biden's running for president of the United States. And his wife, Dr. Jill Biden, they always got to call her Dr. Jill Biden. Well, excuse me. What kind of doctor is she? I don't remember. So I need you guys to explain something to me. If Joe Biden is running for president of the United States, and his wife on the campaign trail, she's now campaigning with him, she's running for first lady of the United States, why did Dr. Jill Biden do this? Listen. And the president, listen to this, or the vice president. Former Second Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, whose husband, former Vice President Joe Biden, is running for the 2020 Democratic nomination, and I'm assuming of the United States. Dr. Jill Biden handed out tamales and Christmas gifts to migrants in Mexico, as part of a visit with local leaders on Sunday. So Joe Biden sent his wife, Dr. Jill Biden, to campaign in Mexico. And what's this business of handing out tamales? That sounds racist to me. Doesn't it? Oh, these are Mexicans. Let's give them some hot tamales. Biden, she's on the Mexican side of the border. This story is in Breitbart. So Joe Biden's wife went to the Mexican side of the border to campaign for her husband. I guess, they want that Mexican national vote. Dr. Jill Biden toured a migrant camp across the border from Brownsville, Texas, home to over 2,000 asylum seekers. Many of the migrants, often referred to as MPPs, what's an MPP? Have remained in Mexico as part of the Department of Homeland Security's Migrant Protection Protocols. Migrant Protection Protocols, is what it stands for. They await hearings before U.S. immigration judges. And here she is. This is wannabe First Lady, Biden's wife in Mexico, handing out hot tamales to Mexicans. That just seems racist to me. Don't you think that seems racist? Maybe they don't like to, if I was in Mexico and they were handing me hot dogs, I might say, what do you give me a hot dog for? Oh, I don't like hot dogs. Here's wannabe First Lady in Mexico handing out hot tamales to Mexicans. It's heartbreaking to see this, she says. It's heartbreaking to see this. Let me see what kind of doctor she is. I'd forgotten. I know she's not an abortion doctor. She's probably a pediatrician. Let me see here. Let's see here. Dr. Jill Biden. I can't remember what kind of doctor she is. Rand Paul's a doctor. I never hear them refer to him as Dr. Rand Paul, do you? Let's see here. What kind of doctor is she? She's a doctor of, I don't know. It doesn't tell me here. Let's see here. She's an American educator, wife of the 47th Vice President. Her mother and baby sister died in a car accident in 1972. Wow. Let's see here. She has a bachelor's degree. She went to University of Delaware. She taught English. She taught reading. She taught adolescents with emotional disabilities at a psychiatric hospital. She was an English and writing instructor, a professor of English. She's not a medical doctor? I thought she was a medical doctor. Is she not is she a medical doctor, or is she a professor? Because it says here she's a professor of English at the Northern Virginia Community College. She's thought to be the first second lady to hold a paying job while her husband was vice president. She's founder of the Biden Breast Health Institute. It doesn't say what kind of, it says here she has a bachelor's degree from the University of Delaware. She has master's from Westchester University, Villanova, a doctorate. She has a doctoral degree from the University of Delaware. She taught English and reading. I thought she was like a doctor. When someone is a college professor and they have a PhD, you only call them doctor like when at the university. She's not a doctor. They're pushing a little bit of fraud here. You know, it's amazing. She was second lady for 8. How many of you thought she was a doctor, as opposed to a doctor of English? Someone said, don't hate on someone who has a PhD. No, I don't hate on anyone that has a PhD. I'd like to get one myself, but, you know, don't have time for that, and it's expensive as hell. But I think that they've implied that she's a doctor. You don't refer to a PhD in English as doctor unless you're like in their classroom. Like if you're a student. And then you say, Dr. Biden, I got a question about my term paper. You don't go around calling them doctor. Little fake news going on there for a long time. So why is Biden's wife in Mexico campaigning? Is there... Now, let me ask you, serious question, and we do take calls here, 1-888-GO-KANE1. I cannot be the only person who thought that Biden's wife was a doctor, as opposed to a doctor of English, lit, or whatever. Joe Biden sending his wife to campaign in Mexico. She's in Mexico. She's on Mexican soil, which means she's going after the Mexican vote. Is there Mexican interference in the 2020 election going on here? Is there Mexican interference in the Democrat primary? I'm serious. Is there Mexican interference in the 2020 Democratic primary election? Second question. How many of you thought Dr. Joe Biden was a doctor, not a doctor of English? I had no idea. Third question. She's handing out hot tamales to Mexicans in Mexico. Is that racist to hand out hot tamales of all things? It seems a little stereotypical. If she were in Japan, would she be handing out sushi? Would that be racist? If she were in Italy and she was giving them spaghetti, would that be racist? But and is there Mexican interference going on in the Democrat primary? 1-888-GO-KANE1. That's Kane with a K, K-A-N-E, and the number 1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. That's our number, and indeed it is. We'll be right back.
It's Wings Plus. Wings that are first grilled and then fried to make them extra crispy, served with blue cheese and celery. Try the
you guys wonder about that? That's
the
something.
lemon pepper wings, the honey
Hold on, I gotta
mustard
go
wings,
unlock.
the
I'll be right
garlic
back.
wings, and 15 other varieties. That's Wings Plus, located at 9880 Sample Road in Coral Springs with a politically elite meat.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires.
I'm back.
Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate. where they
Welcome,
have
welcome,
all the
everyone. Make sure you
major brands,
subscribe.
like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on
Hey,
the
Chuck.
road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars.
I think it's
Call my
racist to
good
hand out
buddy
hot
Friendly
tamales.
Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel, Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married
Hey, Sarah.
couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs.
Florida
The
Truth
Siegel
420.
Law Group, with 9 offices in South
Who is Florida? Do I know you
including Boca Raton,
personally,
Plantation,
Florida Truth
and
420?
Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for...
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Show. It is Christmas Eve. We are here live. Don't forget to watch us live stream on YouTube. You know, Friendly Tire, all these great deals. Friendly Tire is open today, Christmas Eve. Closed tomorrow for Christmas, but Friendly Tire is open up for business, normal business hours, the day after Christmas, Thursday. So they're open Thursday, Friday, and always on Saturdays. So Friendly Tire open today on Christmas Eve, closed on Christmas, but opening up Thursday morning, and will be open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, normal business hours. I know a lot of you are off work. It's a good time to get in there and get your new tires or great quality used tires as well. Welcome back. So Biden sent his wife to Mexico to campaign for the Mexican national vote down there in Mexico. And she's handing out racist food, hot tamales. It says she's handing out tamales, and I'm assuming they're hot. You don't eat cold tamales. So she's handing out hot tamales to Mexicans in Mexico. This is just crazy. Crazy what's going on. Where's the media on this? Now, I want to share this story with you because I read this story this morning in the Daily Mail. Daily Mail's my number one stop for news. DailyMail.com. It's out of the UK. It's the most read English language newspaper in the world. And if you got to read the US edition, and they have a lot of good stuff in it. I love the Daily Mail. Rarely will I come on the air without having read the Daily Mail. It's the most important source of news every day. There's a lot of liberal stuff in there, don't get me wrong, okay? And it's a lot of liberal bent to everything. You got to look beyond that, but they got stories there. And I read this particular story, and then something's buried in it that I thought was interesting. Now, here's the headline, Daily Mail. Army intelligence officer says goodbye to his mother before she is deported to Mexico for the 4th time, and says it may be the last time he will ever see her because Mexico was on the list of high-risk places that military personnel cannot travel to. Let me read you the story. And then he says something buried in this somewhere, so I'm going to have to read a bit to catch up to where it is. A U.S. Army intelligence officer returned home to California to say goodbye to his mother, an undocumented immigrant who is being sent back to Mexico for the 4th time. U.S. Army Second Lieutenant Gibram Cruz came home from his post in Arizona last week, reserved to the fact that there's likely no way to stop the impending removal of his mom. His mom, Rocio Gomez, age 50, of San Diego, is scheduled for deportation on January 2nd, and her son says he is worried he won't be able to visit her because of restrictions on military personnel traveling to places deemed to be a high risk. Gomez, she's the illegal mom, she's a mother of 3, and she runs a natural products business and drives an Uber. Well, wait, how is she? I thought she was undocumented. She's got 2 jobs. You know, Donald Trump's deporting her. That's 2 jobs created. Donald Trump just created 2 new jobs here. Her Uber gig, and someone's got to run her natural product business. 2 jobs created. And if she's undocumented, how the hell is she running this natural products business and driving for Uber? Right? Now, if they give, she's in California. Do they give illegals driver's licenses in California? They probably do. But if she's doing Uber, you got to have a social security number to become an independent contractor with Uber, don't you? So they know where to pay you? And they or at least they transfer money to a bank. She's got to have some type of documentation for the Uber gig. So is she possibly using someone else's social security number for Uber? How would an illegal drive for Uber? Is she committing identity theft? I don't know. They didn't bother to ask these questions. Gomez, a mother of 3 who runs a natural products business and drives an Uber for more than 8 hours a day, is now hoping a miracle, reports KNSD. When I grew up, I lived above a laundromat. This is what the lieutenant says. She worked hard. She was making, at that point, over $100,000 a year. And she was paying her taxes, her soldier son says. Whoa, she was illegal. And she was making $100,000 a year? And she was paying taxes. How does someone who's undocumented pay taxes? How do they do that? If she has no tax ID or social security number, how does she pay income taxes? They didn't ask that in the Daily Mail either. I'm curious. How does it hurt anyone for my mother to stay here? What risk is the country running? Well, she's illegal, and she's taking jobs away from Americans. Sorry, Lieutenant. Gomez on December 4th was denied discretionary protections given to military personnel related to undocumented immigrants that could have allowed her to continue her stay. Once denied, she was issued a removal order to self-deport from the U.S. within a month's time. She had first come to the U.S. illegally in 1988, but was forced to return to Mexico within a few years when she was detained by immigration officials in a raid while working at a hotel. At that time, she was pregnant with her youngest daughter. She was trying to have that anchor baby. That's according to the San Diego Union Tribune. The single mom, having left the daughter and an older sibling behind, risked returning illegally back to the U.S., but she would be removed 2 more times during the mid-2000s. Her immigration history was confirmed by ICE. Let's see here. Her son says he is haunted by one time that he witnessed his mother's removal. Each time she is returned, she has rebuilt her life from scratch. She was able to buy a house again 2 years ago, which she has spent the time fixing. If she's undocumented, how did she buy a house? Did she pay cash for the house, or did she finance the house? If she paid cash, where the hell did an undocumented illegal get that kind of scratch? If she financed it, how does someone illegal get financing? How many of you can't get a mortgage? The son said he passed on studying law after college to join the military, hoping the decision would somehow help his mom from being removed again. So he only joined the military not for a love of America, but to try to keep his mom in the country because she was illegal. She was detained once more in 2018 by ICE agents. Now the son says he and his sisters worry. What time is it? Okay. Now the son says he and his sisters worry their mom will not be safe to return to the state of Guerrero in Mexico, where she is from. Oh, now they're trying this. Everybody in Mexico was afraid. You notice that? Now she's trying this refugee status that she's afraid to return home. That's not going to work either. The mother is expected to return to Acapulco, a once popular tourist destination, which has become overrun by relentless and bloody drug cartel violence. That's where the Love Boat used to go, Acapulco. Acapulco last year had the third highest number of homicides in Mexico and the highest homicide rate of Mexico's 10 most violent cities, even higher than Tijuana. The family already had reason to worry after the mother's brother appeared to have fallen victim to cartel violence. Despite paying thousands of dollars in extortion money, the family never was able to retrieve his body. Having a son in the military also was sure to make her a target, the family says. Well, let's just get international publicity then. Let's make sure we get us in every newspaper in the world by getting in the Daily Mail, an international newspaper, so everybody knows. If it's so dangerous, why are they giving her this publicity? See, this is part of the refugee scam. I'm afraid. Okay, you can stay. If you say you're afraid, you can stay. That's how Obama did it. She would be an easy paycheck for them having a son in the military, referring to the cartels. How am I supposed to keep her safe? Resign your commission and go to Mexico and live with your mom and protect her. You got all that military training, bud. The mother admitted to the Daily Beast that she's been worn out by her ordeal. I feel like my life is gone and everything I have is here. My whole life, she told the news outlet. I cannot eat. I cannot sleep. Well, maybe Joe Biden can give you one of those hot tamales she's handing out. No one should be going through what I am going through. We were just in Mexico, and those of you who went with us on the Steve Kane cruise, we just went to Mexico, right? What did I need to go to Mexico and come back? What did I have to do? I couldn't go, and I couldn't return without something. What did I have to do to go to Mexico? I was just there last month, and to come back home to Estados Unidos. What did I need? I needed a passport, immigration papers, and you know what? I had to show it to get back into America. They asked me for it. I had to show it. Why do I need immigration papers, but this lady doesn't? How did you buy a house? How did your mom buy the house, Second Lieutenant, I forgot your name? Did she pay cash? Where the hell did she get all that money? Did she finance it? How did she get a mortgage? You say she's paying taxes. How does she pay federal income tax without a Social Security number? None of these Daily Mail's got good stories, but they're liberal, so they leave out all these things. Her attorney says the mother's immigration status is being used to override all of the hard work and life she created in the U.S. You know, if I would have decided to stay in Mexico with my daughter, do you think that without any, immigration permission from Mexico, you think they'd let me set up a life down there? Let my daughter join the Mexican army and buy houses and have businesses and drive for Mexican Uber? I don't think so. Her son is worried that his military status and title will threaten her safety in Mexico, but there is nothing we can do, the lawyer adds. We're hoping for a miracle. That's the end of the story. What are your thoughts on that? 1-888-GO-KANE-1. I understand everybody wants to live in America. I love America, and I understand that. But this woman has been coming to this country illegally since 1988, since I was 17 years old. She's been coming to America illegally off and on for 31 years. Why has she not begun the process to do it legally? She's got money. She bought a house. She was making $100K a year. She had a business. She's driving for Uber. She's had multiple businesses. She could have hired an immigration attorney at any time through this and begun the legal process, and she didn't. Why? And how did her son pay for college? How did this illegal alien pay for her son's college? What's going on here? Did he take a seat away from a legal immigrant or a U.S. citizen? Where did he get the money for college? Did he work his way through college, or did he get a scholarship or student loans? This woman has had more opportunities to go through the legal process than anyone, and apparently she has means because she's got lots of money. And we don't quite understand how she has so much money, but she's got lots of it. I don't really feel too sorry for this family. And I'll tell you another thing, the kid, he said he only joined the army He only joined the Army because he thought it might get her some special status. And you know what it doesn't tell me here? How long has he been in the Army? He's a second lieutenant, so he's, that's the lowest officer rank. They're trying to run some scam with the military to keep her here. That failed. I'm not sympathetic to this at all. I'm sorry. What are your thoughts? 1-888-GO-KANE 1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's Christmas Eve. We're here live. Maybe do I sound like Grinch? There's a lot of questions about this story that the reporters and all these, the Salt Lake Tribune or San Diego paper, Daily Beast, Daily Mail, multiple outlets reporting this story and interviewing these people, none of them asking the questions. And no, I have no sympathy. I want to know where she got all that money. I want to know how she pays taxes with no Social Security number. Is she committing identity theft? And, yeah. And I'll tell you another thing, is her son a security risk? If he's worried about these cartels, could the cartels hold that over him to get some information from him? He's an officer in the Army. He may get some security. I don't know. He seems like a high risk to me. There's a lot of stuff about that story that stinks. Your thoughts certainly are welcome. 1-888-GO-KANE 1. 888-465-2631. It's Christmas Eve. We'll take a break. Last break of the first hour. Be right back.
Medical billing sticker shock. Ever have that happen to you? You go to your mailbox and get a bill for a routine test, and you owe lots of money. You thought it was covered by your insurance, but it wasn't. The cost of healthcare shouldn't break your budget, and you know what? It doesn't have to. This is Brian Craig, and I want to save you a lot of money on lab tests, like cholesterol test, diabetes test, thyroid screenings, drug test, STD test, and whatever other test you need. These are common lab tests, but can cost hundreds of dollars if you go to your doctor's office or to one of the big labs. But there is a solution at any lab test now of Plantation, where you will save money, big money, on medical tests. Save time too. In and out in 15 minutes or less.
That's right.
Avoid medical
You guys all
sticker
subscribed?
shock. I've been going to any lab test now at Plantation for years now for my lab test, and they've saved me thousands of dollars on my test. If you have any questions or want a quote on a lab test, give them a call. 954-916-1072. 954
Well, thank you very much.
1072. The Any Lab Test Now at Plantation staff will answer any questions you have, or just stop by. No appointment is needed. No doctor's order or
No doubt about
prescription
that.
either. Any Lab Test Now at Plantation is located in the Jacaranda Plaza. That's the public shopping center in Plantation, just west of University Drive.
Yes, Sarah.
On the north side
Thank
of
you.
Sunrise Boulevard.
Like button,
When you stop in,
notification
make sure you
bell,
tell them you heard about them on the
subscribe
Steve
button,
Kane Show.
super chat, do it all.
954-916-1072. 954-916-1072 for Any Lab Test Now of Plantation.
Many people are suffering with depression, anxiety, addiction,
Thank you,
trauma,
Connie.
loneliness, low self-esteem, and problems with intimacy. Day and night, they struggle to make it through. If you're feeling overwhelmed, confused, frustrated, lost, and fear never
Well,
being
thank you,
able
Jack.
to find satisfaction in your
Thank you,
intimate
thank you.
relationships, it's time to be proactive. Call me. Let's talk. I am Dr. Janae Lomaski, a licensed psychologist. You can reach me at 561-777-2021. That's 561-777-2021. Or you can find my number at stevekaneshow.com.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the sole authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the sole authority today, 954-597-7060.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the Sunshine State after all, and our skin bears the brunt of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor to take care of this for you than Dr. Jose Mendez. Dr. Mendez is a board-certified dermatologist, and when it comes to caring for your skin and making sure that it is healthy as possible,
Oh, thank you
and
for that
skin
super chat.
cancer-free, you want Dr. Mendez as your personal dermatologist.
Who sent that super
Dr.
chat? I
Mendez
missed
is
it.
caring and very knowledgeable. Your annual
Sarah,
skin
thank you,
cancer
Sarah.
exam is covered by Medicare. Dr. Mendez also takes most other insurances. Steve Kane recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined him from head to toe, took off a few things, and now Steve is good to go. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681. When you call, make sure to ask for Sarah. She takes extra good care of Steve Kane listeners and will get you an appointment fast. Early detection of skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681.
I've got the volume up so loud, I can hear my voice echoing off the office door down the hall.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I am Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Also, the most pro-Donald Trump radio show in America. I promise you that. It's Christmas Eve, which means we are a week away from New Year's Eve. What are your plans for New Year's Eve? You know, Tavolino's, they've got a great New Year's Eve for you. You do need reservations. Seating is very limited. Dance to the music and bring in the new year with the sounds of the fabulous Crush Band over at Tavolino's. They have 2 seatings before 8 p.m. for the early seating. And after 8:30, they have later seating, which is followed by the New Year's party. They have an incredible menu. It's a 4-course fixed menu. And it just, oh man, I see lobster. I see all kinds of great stuff here. Oh man, Tavolino's is spectacular. And complimentary champagne toast to bring in the new year with. Call Tavolino's, make a reservation, and yeah, I know a lot of people like the early dinners. I do too. I think they got a seating at 5 o'clock is the first seating. So call Tavolino's. They have 3 seatings for New Year's, 2 early, and then 1 for the New Year's Eve time there at midnight. 954-509-0046. When you call to make a reservation, make sure you mention the Steve Kane Radio Show. 954-509-0046. Tavolino's New Year's Eve bash. Join them, all right? Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yeah, good morning, Al. I want you to play along with me with the game this morning.
Oh, we are? Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Okay.
Okay. You're a racist. The President of the United States is an ugly racist who only wants to deport people of color. The borders should be open because this country doesn't belong to the white males. Has nothing to do with the white women because the white women vote and they don't want to upset them because if they upset too many white women, they won't get in power. So they're going to blame the white male, which is us, because we came here and we took the land away from people of color, the Indians, and Mexico belonged to the United States until us white men went in there and took Mexico from them. And basically, we should have open borders, and this woman should be able to make all the money she wants, and everybody should be able to come here because we...
Well, now, okay, you're good, you're good. So, okay, now you're back on track on the story with the lieutenant in the Army's mama being sent back to Mexico. Do you, like me, have zero sympathy for that woman and her son?
Zero. And the fact of the matter is that it's sad, but half of the country that vote for Democrats have villainized the president and villainized you and me, and the opinion that we have is only half of the...
And I'll tell you something, this story here, I found it in the London papers, right? I saw this story in the Daily Mail, which is out of London. Here they are leaving the EU so they can have control of their immigration over there, the borders of the island of Great Britain. But, you know, there's a lot of questions I asked about this. Number one, they say she was making $100,000 a year and driving for Uber, and she pays her taxes. How is she paying taxes without a Social Security number?
The Democrats have let her stay in the country.
Well, no. They say that she's paid her taxes. So she's paying federal and California state income taxes? How is she doing that without a Social Security number?
She had a fake social.
Oh, so okay. So you think she's committing identity fraud? You think she's committing identity theft? She has someone else's social. Well, that's a fraud.
They give them social.
Well, that's a felony, isn't it? A felony to identity theft? Isn't that a felony if you use someone else's social?
Fact is that only half of the country cares about it.
And do we really know that she pays her taxes? Do we really know that she's paying federal and state income taxes? I know that. And another question is, how the hell did she just buy this house? Did she pay cash? Where'd she get the money? Did she get financing? How'd she do that? If she got how'd she get a mortgage?
You know, you're right. But you know what really got me crazy? The other day they had a show in New York, and they rather than condemning the people, the media, they praised them. You see the lineup of people outside of the driver's license place in New York City?
Yeah, well, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, you know, the illegals. Now, let me ask you this: if they're giving driver's licenses to undocumented people, so they have no documents, and they're giving them driver's licenses. So, is their name whatever they say it is, and are they as old as whatever they tell the DMV person? Well, if you're undocumented, how do you prove your name and birth date if you're undocumented?
They don't care about that. They just care that they give them a...
Oh, okay. So if you're a felon on the run, can you go up there and get a driver's license with a whole new identity and birth date?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it sounds like you can. You can start a whole new life.
You know what's funny? They don't care. These people don't give a damn as long as they vote Democratic, man.
Yeah.
All about...
Yeah.
All about how we're terrible people because we want borders.
Well, and so now we have Joe Biden. Now Joe Biden, yeah. So Joe Biden has sent his wife on the Mexican side of the southern border to campaign for him in Mexico by handing out hot tamales to Mexicans. Is there Mexican interference in the 2020 election here going on? Why is Biden campaigning in Mexico?
Well, I can tell you this much. You brought her up. There's interference in the election, and it's his wife, because she is really pushing him. He's like, you know, my parents knew a guy a long time ago. He drove, and he had hearing aids in his ear. He couldn't hear, and he was a terrible driver because most of his life he had a boat. So his wife would sit next to him and say, make a left, make a right, make a left, make a right, go straight, hit the brakes. And what I'm trying to tell you is this is what Biden's wife doing to Joe.
Yeah.
Is never was smart, and he's totally a dummy. And for them to even accuse President Trump of trying to take advantage of somebody who doesn't even know what the hell state he's in when he's...
Oh, this is interesting. So you think Doctor of English Lit or whatever the hell, Dr. Jill Biden is involved in an elder abuse situation with Vice President Biden?
Absolutely.
Well, that's interesting. She's committing elder. Now, yesterday you called me about this time and you said, Brian, take tomorrow off. There's nothing to talk about. There's no news. I mean, I've just gotten started. There's plenty of news.
Get up sometimes and I have to get upset with you. I'll tell you the truth. When I put it on and I said, well, finally, Brian's up because I get up and I hear the best of for it.
Yeah.
Me nuts.
Yeah, I know, it gets you nuts. But I'm here. I'm here live on Christmas Eve, man. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Well, good. Now, look, I don't want to get into any details of what I'm talking about because I'm going to be very cryptic here with you. So don't say. But I was talking with Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot on Friday, and he mentioned something that you told him. So I told him that you and I are going to talk with him. So so Ian will be calling you up to conference me in at some point after the holiday period. All right? Okay. No. I'm being cryptic, but I will talk then. I'm being cryptic. I'm working on something. I got something going on. Oh my goodness. Coming up on the show today, by the way, you're listening to the Steve Kane Show, 1 hour down, 2 to go. Steve will be here today. President Trump recorded a commercial for us. He's up at Mar-a-Lago right now, right? Here in the Florida White House. And, we got a commercial recorded by the president. That's right. You'll hear it coming up. I went and took my MacBook Pro up to Mar-a-Lago with my equipment and my microphone, this very microphone right here, and it recorded a commercial for it. You'll hear it coming up in the show later on. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. I'm Brian. It's Christmas Eve. Steve will be joining us, so go anywhere.
5.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
This is Steve Kane inviting you to come see the all-new Toyota of Hollywood. You know, for the past 4 years in a row, Toyota of Hollywood has been #1 in volume for Toyota sales in the southeast region of the United States. There are lots of places you can shop for a new car, but there is
Very
only
true.
one
Subscribe, everyone. Make
Toyota
sure you
of
subscribe,
Hollywood
all right?
who will be treated like royalty. The service you receive at Toyota of Hollywood is second to none. No high-pressure sales, no hassle, no haggling, just the best deal on the brand new Toyota of your choice. At Toyota of Hollywood, there is a full line of new and pre-owned
This story here is
Toyotas,
unbelievable.
sure to meet the needs of you and your family. I drive a Sienna van. Plenty of room, not only for the kids, but for the grandkids as well. It's roomy, it's comfortable, it drives like a dream. And then there's my favorite model of Toyota, the Camry. I've owned 3 of them over the years, and boy, are they made to last. That's right. You take care of your Toyota, it will take care of you. Then, of course, as a starter car for the kids in college, the fabulous
man.
Corolla, the ultimate in driving efficiency, priced perfectly for that first car. When you shop at Toyota of Hollywood, make sure you ask for Steve Ostrov. That's right, he's the GM. He's a big Steve.
Does anyone use a VPN? Does anyone use a VPN?
The new Toyota of Hollywood, 400,000 square feet with the most gorgeous Toyota automobiles you have ever seen. Located between Sheridan Street and Hollywood Boulevard on Highway 441.
Yes?
Open
You use
till
one?
midnight. Tell them Steve
Well,
Kane sent
the
you.
reason I'm asking is because I
Right
was
now, the US
approached
is in the
by,
midst of a deadly
let me see, make sure I get the right one.
In South Florida
Which one do you
alone,
use?
Someone suffers an overdose every 2 hours.
Make sure I get the
either
right
from
one.
heroin, fentanyl, or some other prescription medication.
Yeah, I was,
as
yeah, let me
close
see,
as
make
the
sure I got the
family
right one.
medicine cabinet. In fact, Mom and Dad's medicine cabinet is frequently the gateway to the horror.
Yeah, I was approached by ExpressVPN to advertise on the show. So, if we start advertising for ExpressVPN, would you cancel your membership and sign up again with us through ExpressVPN? My daughter uses VPNs, and I have too. Why do you use a VPN? Why do you use the ExpressVPN? What's the benefit of it? Yeah, but you gotta cancel Kim Commando and sign up with us. These people work crazy hours. They emailed me at 2:30 in the morning. Well, thanks. Thank you. So why do you, Charlie, use a VPN?
As well as group therapy treatment, it's covered by most insurance, but no matter what your situation.
Oh yeah, you'll get a deal with us too, I'm sure.
Has options for you. Call Sal at the Edge Recovery. Do it today.
VPN. V is in Victor. It keeps your internet actually private.
That's Sal's personal cell phone.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna sign up for it too. I've been wanting to do it.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida,
To keep things
having a
private?
checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the sunshine
Do
state
you
after all, and our skin
you bank
is
online? You use it
like
for that?
sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor to take care of this for you.
Your phone
than
appears
Dr.
in Paris
Jose
right now.
Mendez. Dr. Mendez is a board-certified dermatologist, and when it comes to caring for your skin,
Yeah, so when,
making sure
okay,
it is healthy
so
as
with
possible and
ExpressVPN,
skin cancer-free,
like when I'm
Dr.
out, like
Mendez,
I'm out with my laptop,
dermatologist. Dr. Mendez
I can on public Wi-Fi. I'm still private.
covered by Medicare.
I'm just asking because we're going to get 5 connections.
Kane recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined him from head to toe.
Can you use it on multiple devices?
Good to go. Call Dr.
Or is it just one device? How's it work?
954-431-7681.
You can use it on multiple devices?
7681. When you call, make sure
5
to ask for
devices.
Sarah.
Oh, that's
She takes
perfect.
extra good care of Steve Kane
And how much do you pay a month, Charlie?
Appointment fast. Early detection of skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable...
I guess there's different plans, yeah.
$50 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs.
Well, no, we're going to be, in January, we'll be advertising ExpressVPN. They approached me about advertising on the Steve Kane Show and my podcast. So, yeah, no, it's a done deal. They'll be advertising with us in January. I'm just asking you guys questions about it, because over the holidays, I got to put together the commercial.
Is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m.
$40, yeah, that's good.
To call the show toll free.
All righty. Hour number 2 has begun. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. It is Christmas Eve, and we are here live. We're here live. That's right. We are here live on this Christmas Eve. We'll be off tomorrow and Thursday, back live on Friday for the weekend show, which we want to make sure that, the weekend show, that airs all those times. Oh, man, so much going on, so much to talk about. You know, if you're just tuning in, so much breaking news in the first hour. I'll just recap it quickly as I bring up new things, and I've got some audio sound bites and things I want to get to. Saturday, this past Saturday, the last Saturday before Christmas, the largest sales day in U.S. retail history. Boom, there you have it. The Trump economy, the Trump economic boom. There has never been a retail day as big as this past Saturday in history. And Black Friday was pretty big this year. Saturday outsold even Black Friday. And I went out on Black Friday. It was nuts on Black Friday. I went to Best Buy. Oh, my goodness. It was like a movie. Remember that movie with Schwarzenegger? He was trying to get that toy. It was crazy. And the Trump economic boom is going gangbusters. Of course, the left very upset about this. The other story we were talking about, Joe Biden sent his wife, Dr. Jill Biden, who's not a doctor. She's a doctor of English or something. I thought she was a doctor, not a professor of English or whatever she does. Joe Biden sent his wife. Oh, that was Sinbad did a movie too. Yeah, Sinbad did that movie, as did Schwarzenegger. They both did movies like that. Or were they both in the same movie? I don't know. But I think it was the same. Was it Schwarzenegger and Sinbad in the same movie or different movies? I can't remember. A long time. Jingle All the Way, I think, was the name of the movie. Same movie, Jingle All the Way. Joe Biden sent his wife to Mexico to campaign for him in Mexico yesterday. We were talking about that. And, of course, the scam of this Army second lieutenant who joined the service to try to keep his mom from being deported for the 3rd time. So we got a lot going on, lots on the table. Your calls are certainly welcome. We're bringing back, I've talked about doing this a few times, and it hasn't worked out, but I'm going to make a real strong effort to do this for the new year, and it's starting now. And the most popular segment we ever had on the Steve Kane Show, this is the longest running radio show in Florida, right? On the radio since 1977, 42 years, when the original Star Wars was in theaters. This show debuted on radio here in Florida. And out of 42 years, the most popular segment, I still get people talking to me about it today, was the voicemail segment. Any of you remember our voicemail segment? Oh my goodness. This was the best. And what happened is one of our sponsors years ago used our call-in number. We had a different call-in number then. And it happened quite by accident. And when we would get off the air every day, we would turn the voicemail on because our sponsor was getting, using the same number, one of our sponsors, back in the Adams World days. And listeners would call our voicemail day and night, in particular the overnights, because remember, we have an overnight rebroadcast 7 nights a week, midnight till 6 a.m. And on the overnight rebroadcast mostly, but throughout the day, listeners would call in and leave us messages. And sometimes they were drunk, sometimes they were high, sometimes they were just pissed off, and sometimes just lying in bed and couldn't sleep. And what we used to do is I would take those mail messages and we'd play them on the air like once or twice a week. And then on days when, like tomorrow, we were off, and there's a best of show on Christmas. And then on best of days, I would edit together a whole bunch of the voicemails, and we would have like an hour of just voicemail messages. And it was very popular. It was hilarious. And also, people, we'd get a lot of different types of callers, but sometimes people are afraid to call and talk on the air, so they call and leave a message. And our overnight listeners, kind of, since you guys are listening to the overnight rebroadcast of the show from the morning before, you can't call us live because we're not on the air between midnight and 6 live. Our overnight audience, it was an opportunity for them to call and leave a message. And boy, did they leave messages. So I have activated the voice message system. And starting today, when we are not on the air live, you can call our number 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631 and leave us a voicemail message. And if it's good, I may play it on the air. Now, sometimes, people would really, it was an opportunity for people to really vent about me and about Steve and about the show. We play all of it on the air. Now, I'll just say this. I don't need to get any messages of telling me to look up this article or research that. Those are just going to get deleted. I'm not going to play those. It has to be in it, But if for whatever reason you don't call this show live because, or you have something you want to get off your chest, or you're an overnight listener, call that same number, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631, and leave a message on the voicemail. Okay, and like I say, you'll hear there's a message with me on the voicemail, and you'll hear me telling you if it's good, we may play it on the radio. So also keep that in mind. Any message you leave may be played on the radio. You're giving us permission to do that. But yeah, so I'm really hoping it works because that was a hot segment. And those of you who were listeners of the Steve Kane Show back then, you guys remember the voicemail messages? Oh my goodness. Someone asks, is the Steve Kane Show the oldest on the radio nationally? With the same host, it's possible. It's very possible. It is very, very possible. I've had some people in Florida call and challenge me. A sales guy from another talk radio station up in North Florida, he called me once, and he says, I hear you guys say you've got the longest running radio show in Florida. We have the longest running radio show in Florida. I said, okay, when did the show go on the air? And he said, 1984. I said, sorry, 1977. And he said, oh, and he said goodbye, and he hung up. It's like I took the wind out of his sails. But I guess that's how they sell that show, by saying it's the longest running radio show, but it's not. I don't know if they still sell it that way. But yeah, this is the longest running radio show. So anyway, the voicemail is back. It is up. It is running. And when we are not on the air between 6 and 9 a.m., you can call, and the voicemail will pick up, and you leave your message, okay? And it's the same number, 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the voicemails, and especially the ones that would attack us. Those are always the best. And there was some, the ones when people were calling, yeah, Rush was 88. Yeah, I know. We got everyone beat here, man. We've got everyone beat. 1977. I'm not so confident the longest one in America, but you never know. It is possible. Oh yeah. So, and that, by the way, that starts today. So when we go off the air at 9 o'clock today, you can leave messages for us. And like I say, if they're good, I'll play them on the air. 1-888-GO KANE 1-888-465-2631. All right, let's take our first break of the second hour, and then I'll get into some of the audio sound bites and some of the news stories right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you to call Debbie at I Will Advisors and have her review your homeowner's insurance policy and save you money on your insurance premium. I'm in studio today with a Steve Kane listener, Don. Don did just that.
I called Debbie. She looked over my home.
Merry Christmas, Bruce Wayne.
And told me I was paying way too much.
Shouldn't the name be Billionaire Bruce Wayne? It used to be Millionaire Bruce
And
Wayne.
now my mortgage payment has been lowered because my insurance premium is part of my monthly mortgage payment.
Thanks, Don, and I'm glad Debbie can save you all that money. You can save money, too. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. Have her review your policy and lower your homeowner's insurance premium. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Hey guys, are you losing your hair? Stop hair loss in its tracks and call Dr. Mitch Matez for a free consultation. Talk to him about hormone replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy will stop hair loss in its tracks, and the hair you have left will grow in thicker and fuller. Stop your hair loss and call Dr. Matez, 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490.
Hey, Beverly.
Online at hormonetherapy.bocoraton.com.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you
Oh,
about
there's Steve.
Brighton Dental Care. I
I'm
just
coming,
got a lot
I'm
of
coming.
work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and
Yeah.
a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down.
What?
So I scheduled my
No, there's not.
next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments.
Well, I got some other stuff I'm going to do. I got some sound bites and stuff I want to do.
I
That's
will be
new stuff.
patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave
Friday.
me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the
Today is
cost.
Wednesday.
So call Brighton Dental
Or
today.
Tuesday. Today's Tuesday.
952-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I mentioned earlier, you're going to hear this in the next break. President Trump recorded a commercial here for the Steve Kane Show. We'll be airing it in the next break for the first time, making its Christmas Eve debut on the show. And, he's here in Mar-a-Lago, which is right up the street. And I just went over there with my equipment. They let me into Mar-a-Lago, brought in my production equipment, my microphone here, and the president recorded a commercial for the Steve Kane radio show, which will make its debut in the next commercial break. In fact, let me pull it up so I don't forget, because I'm promising it to you now. Let me put it in the slot to play. President Trump. There it is. President Trump. Okay, there it is. Got it. I know. We're hooked up, man. We're hooked up. All right, so much going on. I'm going to get to the audio sound bites in just a minute. This story here, I have not read this story, only the headline. It's in Tucker Carlson's The Daily Caller. And if anybody knows Tucker Carlson, could you tell him to get all the clickbait out of the Instagram girls with the boobs and bikini photos? You know, they're going after Tucker Carlson big time. Big time. And he's got all this sex clickbait on Daily Caller. You need to get that off there if these people would think. Here's the headline. Democrats seek to outlaw suburban single-family zoning, calling it racist and bad for the environment. I've not read the story. I just saw the headline. So this has got to be interesting. Housing is now racist. Single-family housing. I guess they think black people don't have families? Is that what the liberals are saying? Democrats in Virginia may override local zoning to bring high-density housing, that's apartment buildings, including public housing, so every neighborhood statewide to every neighborhood statewide, that is, whether residents want it or not. The measure could quickly transform the suburban lifestyle enjoyed by millions, permitting duplexes to be built on suburban lots in neighborhoods previously consisting of quiet streets and open green spaces. Proponents of upzoning, as it's called, say the changes are necessary because suburbs are bastions of segregation and elitism, as well as bad for the environment. Okay, I'm not going to read any further. A couple things about this and why it's not going to happen. This is Virginia, okay? One, it's not bad for the environment because in the suburban single-family areas, there's lots of green there. They have a front lawn, they have a backyard, you know what I mean? They have plants and trees, so it's not just, some concrete ghetto apartment complex. But the reason this is not going to happen, have you ever driven through the suburbs in Virginia? Beautiful, huge homes, huge driveways, beautiful lawns. And who lives in those homes, right? The government bureaucracy, the people that work at the State Department, the Social Security Office, the Smithsonian, whatever government, all the people that work for the federal government live in the suburbs in Virginia. And yeah, exactly. You got to plug it in, Steve. It's not plugged in. Your mic's not plugged in. Your mic is not plugged in. It's plugged into something, but not the right slot. So these liberal bureaucrats that work for all these government agencies, like the Bureau of Indian Affairs and the Department of Education and the Pentagon, when they start bringing in public housing into their liberal neighborhoods, believe me, they're going to be the first ones that say, no way. No way. So that's just not going to happen. So if you I'm going to get to the sound bites, some audio sound bites, which I got a few good ones today we'll get to. If you're just tuning in, let me recap real quick. Joe Biden sent his wife to Mexico to campaign for him yesterday. She handed out, I'm not making this up, she handed out hot tamales to Mexicans in Mexico as she was campaigning for her husband in Mexico, not in New Mexico, in Mexico on the Mexican side of the border. So the question is Mexico interfering in the 2020 presidential election? Second story we had, the largest day in the history of retail sales took place on Saturday, the Saturday before Christmas. We're talking about the Trump economic boom.
The economy is going nuts.
Yeah, the Trump economic boom. And, of course, this guy in the army who's running a scam to keep his illegal mother in the country. We're talking about that as well. Now, I want to get to some sound bites because, Richie called me yesterday. He said, you guys should take the whole week off. There's no news, nothing to talk about. Yeah.
No such thing in these days.
No, there's all kinds of news and lots to talk about. So I want to get to some sound bites here. Just one here before the break. This is a twofer because this is from the Joy Reid show. Joy Reid is really a sad person. I mean, she's a black racist, and she's the stereotypical racist. She doesn't even realize real racists don't think they're a racist. Okay, they just think that the way they see the world is reality. They think they're reality-based. It's not racist. It's just the way it is. This is Joy Reid. She's talking about President Trump, and then her guest, who's white, or he's a black guy who's an albino, he looked white to me, starts talking about Trump voters. But the first part is Joy Reid talking about our president.
For the media is the kind of change that for a lot of people who are victimized by him, who aren't in danger of him because they're not an immigrant child who's going to go in a cage, they're not a black person who's going to lose their right to vote, they're not a woman who's going to lose the right to their sovereignty over their own body.
Okay, so let me go back. She talked a little fast there, but this is, she's on MSNBC. So she's talking about 3 groups of people who are victimized by Trump. Listen.
They're not an immigrant child.
Immigrant children are being victimized by Trump. First off, President Trump is helping immigrant children. He's done 2 major things that he gets 0 credit for. He has virtually ended sex trafficking in this country of minors being brought in illegally across every one of our borders, not just the southern border. He shut down at the beginning of his presidency Backpage, which is the largest prostitution ring in the world, Backpage.com. He shut it down, and Backpage was being used to advertise prostitutes nationwide, worldwide, including underage prostitutes. He shut that down. The thing about the kids at the border, he's protecting them from 2 things: the sex traffickers, But the reason he separates kids at the border is to make sure that the adult they crossed with is their parent or legal guardian, not someone that's either bringing them to sex traffic them or bringing them here to rotate them around to act like a kid to get the exemption to get into the country. He's protecting these kids. Many of them have been abducted and they're either being brought here for sex trafficking or just being used and rotating back and forth to be passed off as children. So Joy Reid, wrong there. So let's go back. Let's go through all of her points.
For the media is the kind of change that for a lot of people who aren't victimized by him, who aren't in danger of him because they're not an immigrant child who's going to go in a cage, they're not a black person who's going to lose their right to vote.
Okay. She said they're not a black, under Trump, black people are going to lose their right to vote. Could you give me a specific example of a black person losing their right to vote because of Trump? I don't know what they're talking about. In fact, there's a, yeah.
What they're probably talking about is the cleansing of the voting rolls. You know,
I don't know. She didn't say.
Taking out the people who are dead and haven't voted.
Well, under Trump, millions of blacks have had their voting rights restored that previously did not have their voting rights. And I was opposed to this in Florida. I voted to try to stop this, the felon vote. Nonviolent felons in Florida were given the right to vote automatically, and many of them are felons of color. So actually, there's an increase in the number of people of color who have a right to vote under Trump, millions in Florida, and I was opposed to that. I don't know how that passed, but anyway, there's other groups. Hold on.
In danger of him because they're not an immigrant child who's going to go in a cage. They're not a black person who's going to lose their right to vote. They're not a woman who's going to lose the right to their sovereignty over their own body. You're not it.
Okay, so she's talking about abortion. I've not heard this one. Women are going to lose control of it. She's, here, Joy Reid is against the sovereignty of the United States borders, but the sovereignty of the body of women. She's big into that.
I'd love to expand on that.
Well, you'd be waiting a long time because she never expands. Because if she has to expand, it falls apart. Donald Trump, if somebody has an example, call us on the air, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Joy Reid says that women are losing the right to have abortions committed on them under Donald Trump. What has Donald Trump done that has stopped one woman or girl from having an abortion committed upon them? If you've got an example of something Donald Trump has done that stopped anyone from having an abortion, our line is open at 1-888-465-2631. I doubt we'll get that call because he's done nothing. All right, now, if anything is, well, let's go on. Now her white guest is going to chime in, talk about voters.
A great story. Look, I mean...
This guy's going to talk about Trump voters and why it's racist to interview them.
It's just true. He's a great story. It never ends, and people want their news. A couple quick points. This obsession with how did Trump, interviewing people at Trump rallies to ask how they thought about impeachment.
Okay, now, before I get to play this, they're talking about the impeachment has been a disaster, and they don't understand why we have not, on the Trump train, abandoned him. And what this guy's going to talk about is why it is racist to interview Trump voters about impeachment. When you're interviewing voters about impeachment, the only people that do matter are Trump voters, because if their votes haven't been changed, it's not going to... The only chance to change the outcome of the election is for people who have voted for Trump and are going to vote for him again to say, I'm not voting for him again because of this. So other people, Democrats, liberals, whoever, whatever they call themselves, their opinions are irrelevant because they were not going to vote for him anyway. So if you're a news organization and you want to find out how impeachment is affecting the election, you go to Trump voters, people that voted for him, and find out if they're going to vote for him again or not post-impeachment. And the media are trying to, and I'll play this clip, but the media are trying to discount this because they don't want to hear from people that say they're still going to vote for him. But it's racist to talk to Trump voters. Listen.
How did Trump, interviewing people at Trump rallies to ask how they thought about impeachment. This obsession, and it goes back to the day after he was inaugurated, this obsession with interviewing white Midwestern Trump voters and asking them what they think about Trump, it is a dangerous...
Now listen to his tone. And this is a white guy. You know, I saw this on my computer, and it was a tiny screen, so I thought he could be a black albino. I think he's white. If anybody's seen this clip on Twitter, let me know if he's white or just a black albino man. He looks white to me. No, here how he says white, and then he's Midwestern. You know, you hear the tone when he says Midwestern? Yeah, the people that put food. Yeah.
He was inaugurated. This obsession with interviewing white Midwestern Trump voters and asking them what they think about Trump, it is a dangerous, it is a racist message, because the message is white Republicans are who matter in this country.
Yeah, well, yeah, they matter in the election because you didn't vote for Trump. So how impeachment affects you doesn't matter if you're still not going to vote for him. The purpose of the impeachment from the left is to try to turn Trump voters away from voting for him again.
They are the liberal Democrats are the ones who are winnowing out the black voters, because if you're a black voter, you're going to vote for Trump. They stick that mic in your face and ask you a question. All of a sudden,
they don't want to hear from you.
If you're a black for Trump,
you're dead.
That footage disappears
real
quick.
Because the message is white Republicans are who matter in this country.
They're real America.
Their opinions are what really matter.
Yep.
The press invented this beat out of whole cloth after Trump was elected. In 8 years, no one ever went to a diner in Atlanta or Los Angeles and rounded up voters of color and said, tell me how much you love Obama.
Well, that's not true. If you remember that woman that says, I don't have to worry about putting gas in my car. I don't have to pay if I take care of blank lady. Remember the women on the street that were for the Obama money? The media all the time went around to Detroit and Atlanta and everywhere else and talked to black people day and night about voting for Obama. It was even throughout his whole presidency. You saw this all the time. You know, and what happened with these news stories is after the impeachment vote, Trump voters were supposed to turn away from Trump and not support him anymore. So the media, CNN, has gone out and interviewed Trump voters. They went to that Michigan rally last week, and shocker, they're still voting for him, and they don't understand. So they're trying to discount all of that reporting.
Besides, there are those who believe, and I happen to be one of them, that the black vote is going to be the major issue in this election, because if the statistics that we're hearing, not just occasionally, but we're hearing them up and down the states, is that 35% of blacks are going to vote for Trump.
Yeah,
you don't even have to
it's a record.
the election.
Yeah, it's a record.
Blacks need at least minimum 10-12% of the black vote in order to win the overall election, and they don't have it.
No, they don't have it. Now, we're going to break. When we get back, there's more audio sound bites, obviously with Steve here, and in this commercial, debuting today on Christmas Eve here on the Steve Kane Show, you're going to hear a commercial at the end of this break that President Trump recorded for us since he's here at Mar-a-Lago. So we'll take a break and be back.
Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group.
Just a joke.
With a revocable living trust, $350 for single people.
I'm doing high. I'm not going to do it every time. Just the one time. Don't worry. Don't worry.
He will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782.
Medical billing sticker shock. Ever have that happen to you? You go to your mailbox and get a bill for a routine test, and you owe lots of money. You thought it was covered by your insurance, but it wasn't. The cost of healthcare shouldn't break your budget, and you know what? It doesn't have to. This is Brian Craig, and I want to save you a lot of money on lab tests, like cholesterol test, diabetes test, thyroid screenings, drug test, STD test, and whatever other test you need. These are common lab tests, but can cost hundreds of dollars if you go to your doctor's office or to one of the big labs. But there is a solution at any lab test now of Plantation, where you will save money, big money, on medical test. Save time too, in and out in 15 minutes or less. Avoid medical billing sticker shock. I've been going to any lab test now at Plantation for years now for my lab test, and they've saved me thousands of dollars on my test. If you have any questions or want a quote on a lab test, give them a call. 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072. 1072. The Any Lab Test Now with Plantation staff will answer any questions you have, or just stop by. No appointment is needed. No doctor's order or prescription either. Any Lab Test Now with Plantation is located in the Jacaranda Plaza. That's the public shopping center in Plantation, just west of University Drive, on the north side of Sunrise Boulevard. When you stop in, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072 for Any Lab Test Now of Plantation.
Donald Trump here. You're listening to the most pro-Donald Trump radio show in America, The Steve Kane Show. I love this show. Melania and I listen all the time. There's no better way to get the word out about your business than advertising here. Make America great again and advertise your business on The Steve Kane Show.
Is that nice? President Trump, call Steve Kane and Brian Craig, and we will discuss advertising your business on Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631.
Wow.
Listen to the Steve
It's coming
Kane
back.
Show
That's
on
pretty
iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
I know. It's amazing.
That is astounding.
I went up to Mar-a-Lago yesterday and took care of that. Steve Kane
It's
Show.
a great enhancement to the show. No
Hey,
question.
oh, my goodness, yeah. You want to take any calls?
Yeah.
Okay. Christmas Eve. Few and far between
Well,
on Christmas Eve.
depends. I mean, I'd like to get things. This impeachment 2, which I guess
Yeah.
is what we'll call it, is really starting to cook now. They don't give you any rest. It used to be at Christmas time and the holiday times, day before, day after, day of. They were considered kind of like sacred.
Thank you,
days that
Beverly. Thank you, Beverly.
Get involved in any heavy news. Can't do that anymore. Those rules don't apply.
Yeah.
The Democrats
Thank
are
you, Nick.
busy pulling another con job. They couldn't get their first act together with the.
He's still not impeached. They didn't impeach him the first time yet.
No. Now they're going to go try to do it right this time. I don't know how they made so many mistakes. I thought Nancy was a pretty savvy leader, but she really blew this one, so to speak.
All right, want to take any calls?
Sure, go.
Okay, the quality of calls on Christmas Eve usually aren't that good, so.
Let's be positive.
I've had some good calls so far today, but we'll see this one. Conservative Doug.
We need some anti-Trump people. Is what we
I don't know if there are any anti-Trump people anymore. I think he's converted the country.
I don't know whether the word is converted or wiped out.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, he has done it to the opposition, and they're hanging by a thread.
All right, Conservative Doug.
Good morning, gentlemen. I said Merry Christmas and thank you for the present of your show for the year. Anyhow,
Hey, Joe.
it's just sickening what these damn Democrats are doing. I met up with a couple of liberals, and the first thing out of their mouth was, well, I said, are you happy now you did this stupid impeachment? Now he's going to be, it's going to be thrown out of the Senate. Or we just wanted to scar him. And another one says to me, well, we just wanted to make sure he has something that Obama didn't have.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. They're in real trouble with this because the American public is. Let's face the truth. Is fed up with this, and now they're going to start it from scratch all over again. This whole thing for the last week has been pretty much a battle for public opinion, and it's a battle they've lost. And they just don't want to lie down. And
now a second try. I mean, don't they realize that everybody's going against them? But
Well, you know what they're actually talking about doing now is who's that creep, sadistic liar from California? You know, the guy with the eyes.
Oh, I know.
Who am I talking about, Doug? You know, the one that just lies and makes up transcript testimonies in Congress? Adam Schiff. I know his name. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so Adam Schiff the other day was talking to, who's that guy on at night on MSNBC? That guy on at night. That guy that's on MSNBC in prime time, up against Hannity. Rachel Maddow. You guys are just too. You guys are already. You guys are. You guys aren't getting any of the jokes today. I tell you. But Schiff. It took you a while. I guess the joke's the problem. But Schiff is talking about impeaching and looking into Pence now. About Ukraine. So now they're trying to get him impeached. They want to have them both impeached.
They are desperate. They are desperate.
Well, that you're it's not. That's what they're thinking. They're thinking if they impeach them both, the speaker will become the president. That's what they're thinking because what this will be what happens. And they're in fantasy land. You got to. These are not sane, normal people that see reality. You know, they get Trump out of office. They think they're going to manipulate the Senate and get Trump out of office, and then impeach Pence. And they're not going to let new President Pence, who's been impeached, nominate a vice president. So of course it would have to be the speaker.
They're writing a whole new constitution.
Well, they're actually. It sounds like they're writing a screenplay, like a movie. You know what I mean? It's just it's bizarre. All right, Doug. Not much. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Being anti-Semitic, I haven't said one time Happy Hanukkah.
No, I actually said it earlier. I said it earlier. Yes.
You just weren't awake, sir.
You must have been in the bathroom then. Yeah.
All right. What else?
And what about the black Santa Claus that had the little boy on his lap? He said, "Hey, nice little, good little monkey."
Uh huh. Yeah.
We all the way home.
Oh my goodness. So what are you doing for Christmas? With who?
My.
Your what? Your co-parties? What's it? What? Who are your friends? You have friends? So what are you doing with your friends tomorrow? What are you doing with your friends tomorrow?
You know what he's doing? He's warming up for your hate line thing.
Yeah. So what are you?
Feature.
Oh, he hung up. You talked. Yeah. Well, no, he didn't. He was trying. He ran out of material. The accent, the fake accent, was starting to fade. I guess he couldn't continue it anymore. Oh boy, I tell you.
Yeah, we've had the same trouble that Trump has, fighting incredible opposition.
That's right.
I mean,
They can't fight. It's
I was
tough.
thinking that when you said that you were putting the what do we used to call it? We're gonna remember the name. The something line.
Well, the voicemail. We used to call it the voicemail.
I think we had something a little.
Did we? I don't remember. I don't remember.
But what happened is, systematically, it died of attrition for lack of hostile callers, because they all participated in the beginning, and then they'd follow up on the show with a live call, which was kind of the idea of it. And they got ripped up so badly every day that they. You remember the black? Who are some of our?
Black Randy, Black Phantom.
Patrick.
Yeah, they all. Copa Rick. Remember Copa Rick?
Oh, he was a beauty.
Copa Rick was great. Copa Rick was great.
Hey, that guy's a beauty.
But you know the voicemail line's set up now. So as soon as we're on, anytime from this point forward, when we're not on the air, our voicemail will be on, and you can leave a message. If it's good, we'll play it on the air.
Yeah, I guess.
But I got to tell you,
I was going to
yeah.
try to get him a certificate for something.
Nah.
To give him, they need an incentive to call in.
Well, do you have a certificate? Before you promise one?
I can always get my hands on it.
I don't know about that, but if you listen,
Get a good hostile call.
Well,
these people are lame brains.
well, I don't want to give them reasons not to do it because we have no certificates to give anybody right now. But if you, Steve's giving you reasons not to do. We have no gift certificates and no plans to give away anything. But
just making you a star. That's it.
Well, no, it was a lot of fun, and
This is their chance.
The voicemails were I think the best segment we ever did on the show. I thought it was very good, and
See, the reason they like the voicemails is the voicemails don't fight back.
yeah, but they were good.
They get up. Yeah, they were.
They had courage.
They get up and they will
Say everything they had on their mind.
Screw their courage to the sticking point.
Yeah.
You know who wrote that?
Shakespeare.
Good.
Yes.
Getting better and better. Boy, you're gonna around me for 25
No,
years.
no, I know about Shakespeare before, but the voice. Sometimes people would sing as songs. Sometimes people would call us drunk.
Who was the one guy that used to sing? I loved him. He was great.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was scream.
yeah. So leave your messages, and like I say, if they're good, we'll play them on the air. Well, let's take our break. When we get back, AOC gave an interview and was also.
She's been lying low up till this point.
Yeah, well, she's campaigning now for Bernie, and she gave an interview, and I'll play something from her interview and some other things. All right.
I will return after this.
Steve Kane. Talk 1470. WNN.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own
Klobuchar?
pair of therapeutic
Klobuchar?
shoes made specially for diabetics.
Klobuchar.
You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic
I don't know.
Medicare recipient,
Senator.
you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand
Amy.
shoes. They're
Yeah.
stylish. They will provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the rematch of the praise fight of the century. In this corner, the reigning 5-time champ, Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 for SCT. And in this corner, challengers from every other manufacturer. The challengers come out swinging, but Toyota
Youngerman?
of Hollywood delivers a crushing blow.
He's a
selling Toyotas at up to 50%
part of the
less
day.
than their original MSRP when new and used. 50%.
Yeah, he's calling in today, yeah.
April 2019 Camry SE, not 28,000, 17,775. April 2019 Corolla LE, not 21,000, 12,775. Buy any new Toyota and we'll make your payments for 12 months. At Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
I'm totally unable to handle dates. This is Steve Kane. When it comes to looking your best, sometimes you need a little extra help. Dr. Nathan at the Nathan Clinic is a renowned plastic
I don't know what the date
surgeon
is.
in South
I don't know what the date is any day. I have to look at my computer 20 times a day. I don't know what the date is. I mean,
knows how to review your interview and make you look your absolute best. He's a board-certified plastic surgeon. People come from miles around just because of his extraordinary skills and his caring bedside manner. Dr. Nathan performs breast augmentations, facelifts, Botox, tummy tucks, liposuction, and much, much more. Visit his website. Read the testimonials from his patients. They love Dr. Nathan, and you will too. He has years of experience and impressive credentials that make Dr. Nathan the only plastic surgeon you need to visit who advise you and tell you the best course of action so that you will always remain true to who you are. You can contact
did you hear that new
Dr.
spot for
Nathan
Matez?
for a no-charge consultation.
I'll
by
play it at the
calling
top.
305 area code 680-5121. That's area
That's
code
pretty good.
305-680-5121
It's good.
or online at drnathan.com.
Yeah, it does. It does. If you hear it on the air, it
On
does.
The Steve Kane Show.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
Oh my goodness. Oh
All right,
boy.
we are back.
Oh man, I tell you. Oh yeah, so AOC gave an interview. She was talking about Trump. And let me pull this one up here. Well, first, this one's a quick one. She was talking at the Birding rally about climate change first.
You want to know what we risk if we don't act adequately on climate? Look at what is happening in Australia right now. The fires are so big, they can't even fight them anymore. We're seeing 3 days of the hottest days on record happening in a row. People are trapped. Species are going endangered in a very small period of time.
What species is going endangered? What is she talking about? I don't know.
We belong to the earth, not the other way around.
I thought the Earth was here for us, but apparently we're here for the Earth. Well, you know, she's talking about the temperatures in Australia. I don't think AOC is familiar with the fact that it is the middle of summer in Australia because they're south of the equator.
Yes.
I don't think she knows it's summertime there. And she thinks it's hot there in the winter. I really don't. I don't think she knows.
She's got climate change confused.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does. Yeah, exactly. It's summertime in Australia, and I'm assuming it's the middle of summer because it's like the middle of winter here. So you know, so AOC, she's whatever. All right. So then she gave an interview. That was at the Bernie rally. I know. It's so hot in Australia. It's the winter. I don't understand because it's the summer. Stupid Congresswoman. All right. So she gave an interview, and she's talking about Trump and women.
Wake up every day and say, how can I do the most good? And
What an arrogant person. Wake up every day. Me, I wake up every day. It's like, oh my gosh, it's 3:30 in the morning. But she wakes up every day. What can I do that's good for the world today? Yeah, what an arrogant piece of work. But anyway, that's not why I played it.
I just kind of wake up every day and say, how can I do the most good? And I try not to predict the future too much because I think he's threatened by women of color.
Trump is threatened by women of color.
How can I do the most good? And I try not to predict the future too much because I think he's threatened by women.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, that's Brian Stelter. She says she doesn't try to predict the future. All she talks about is the future with the climate change. That's all she's telling us. And whenever she's talking about the future of, well, if we don't do anything in the future, that's all she talks about. But anyway, she goes on about Trump here. Hold on.
I just kind of wake up every day and say, how can I do the most good? And I try not to predict the future too much because I think he's threatened by women of color.
Because I have none.
I think he's threatened by Latino women.
Now, this is another thing. When she says, now I just throw this out because I don't know. And so I'll ask people, I know we have some native Spanish speakers in the audience. After all, we're in South Florida. There must be a Cuban or a Puerto Rican out there. The way she says Latino with this Hispanic accent, if you were saying Latino in American English and you speak with an American accent, you say it with an American accent. I mean, isn't it kind of racist to say Latino with this Hispanic accent? There's the one word. If she had a
part of her identity.
But she's a New Yorker. Yeah, but
she hasn't lost that part.
But if you are speaking with an American accent, you say Latino. If you say the one word with the Hispanic accent, to me that's racist. But anyway, that's just a point of note. If any of our Spanish speakers could let me know, but when she.
How can I do the most good?
Steve Kane
and
Show.
I try not to predict the future too much.
Steve Kane Show.
Because I think he's threatened by women of color. I think he's threatened by Latino women, by black women, by Muslim women, by...
What would she base that on?
South Asian women.
Eskimo women, Polynesian women.
And Asian women, I think it is such a directly, we represent...
Okay, now slow down. I was reading an article the other day. President Trump has more women in senior positions than any previous president in history. In senior positions, not secretaries and cooks. I'm talking about like advisors like Kellyanne Conway. So he has more women in senior positions in the White House than any president before him, more than Obama, more than Clinton, and all that stuff. So he's obviously not threatened by women, but...
Threatened by women of color. I think he's threatened by Latino women, by black women, by Muslim women, by, South Asian women, Asian women. I think it is such a directly, we represent the...
Did she leave out any ethnicity? She got Asian, South Indian Islander. She didn't say Native American women.
What has she been doing? I've lost track of her. I don't know. You never...
Because you watch Fox. She's on the news all the time. She's just not on Fox.
And Asian women, I think it is such a directly, we represent the America that he refuses to accept. An America that embraces and allows for feminine power. An America that allows people of color to have a strong voice at the table. to be treated equally, to fight for the dignity of all people, and one that, frankly, fights the corruption and plutocracy that he represents.
Oh, big word from Boston College there. That means a government run by rich people, right? She goes,
I don't know what she's talking about.
And it is so galvanizing against his power that I think he feels the need to directly confront it. First of all, we can fight it. He does not, his views do not represent the majority of this country. It's not to say that he represents no one. There's clearly a base that he has, but I don't think that his views represent the majority of the American people.
okay. Now, see, this is what their impeachment is about. Since he doesn't represent, this is how the Democrats think. Since in their mind he doesn't represent the majority of the people, it's okay to undo the election. That's what they tell themselves.
That's the underlying theme.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't represent the majority of the people, so it's okay to overturn the election because the election was not representative of the majority of the people.
Well, the question, we talked enough about her. Where do you think the people are at in these terms? How long will they put up with this crap? These Democrats will keep putting up phony, claims of impeachment as long as the system lets them.
Yeah.
How long is it going to be before?
Well, what are we supposed to do, Steve? We can't do anything till the election.
No. I'm just saying I think that's what we're on a countdown here.
Yeah.
A patience or impatience countdown.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the next one is the time. They start bringing up impeachment now, a whole other set of impeachment, making it obvious that they're going to continue to try different impeachment stories until one of them goes through.
Yeah.
And at some point, I don't think
Well,
that long from now, the American public's going to wake up.
Well, it seems
Throw these bums out.
It seems to me that one of the impeachment charges was obstruction of Congress, and isn't that what Pelosi's doing with the Senate? She's not going to send it over there until they have a kangaroo court of her liking. She's out of her mind.
She doesn't have a lot of leverage in the present setup. That's why they're doing a makeover.
Yeah, well.
That's why they got to try it again. Somehow
Yeah.
they made a mistake.
What mistake was that? Impeaching him?
In my opinion, starting to think from the beginning.
Well, the problem they have is they bullied the Republicans, wouldn't let them speak or call witnesses, treated them like garbage, and now all of a sudden they want the Republicans in the Senate to be fair and balanced and let them have a role when they shut all the Republicans out very publicly. I mean, you can't have it both ways. I'm sorry. And she's not Speaker of the Senate. Yeah, I just don't trust Mitch McConnell. He's a never-Trumper.
Not today, he's not.
Yeah, not his public face, but inside he hates Trump.
Hey, what is it they say? Politics.
Once a never Trumper, always a never Trumper.
No, I trust my.
And what the Republicans are doing is pretty smart. They're saying no witnesses, and the Democrats are pushing. So the Republicans will probably say, okay, we're going to have witnesses. We're going to have the whistleblower. We're going to have Hunter Biden. We're going to have Joe Biden. The Republicans are setting them up.
You've seen this play so many times,
No, the Republicans are setting up the Democrats. We don't want witnesses. Yes, we must. Okay. And then they'll say, okay. And then all of a sudden the whistleblower, oh, no, we can't have that witness. We can only have the witnesses that Schumer wants. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the next step in their scenario.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to let it get that far. Anyway, let's take a break. We'll be back with the Gold Report after. Yes?
No. It's 8 o'clock. No, we got 45 minutes.
I get so eager right around this time of day. But we'll be back anyway right after this.
95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio,
well, you can always call
went to
Lori.
Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian. I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is everything you said it would be, man. I went up there and got me some used tires. And when I went up there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family's going brown, man. everything you said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man. And Mike's a great guy, man.
Well, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we could save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
Hey guys, are you losing your hair? Stop hair loss in its tracks and call Dr. Mitch Matez for a free consultation. Talk to him about hormone replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy will stop hair loss in its tracks, and the hair you have left will grow in thicker and fuller. Stop your hair loss and call Dr. Matez. 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. Online at hormonetherapy.bocaRaton.com.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the Sole Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the Sole Authority today, 954-597-7060. This is Steve Kane. When it comes to looking your best, sometimes you need a little extra help. Dr. Nathan at the Nathan Clinic is a renowned plastic surgeon here in South Florida who will bring out your most beautiful self. Dr. Nathan, highly skilled, knows how to reveal your inner beauty and make you look your absolute best. He's a board-certified plastic surgeon. People come from miles around just because of his extraordinary skills and his caring bedside manner. Dr. Nathan performs breast augmentations, facelifts, Botox, tummy tucks, liposuction, and much, much more. Visit his website. Read the testimonials from his patients. They love Dr. Nathan, and you will too. He has years of experience and impressive credentials that make Dr. Nathan the only plastic surgeon you need visit. He'll advise you and tell you the best course of action so that you will always remain true to who you are. You can contact Dr. Nathan for a no-charge consultation by calling 305 area code 680-5121. That's area code 305-680-5121 or online at drnathan.com. Tell him you heard it on the Steve Kane Show.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve Kane Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. To call the show toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE.
All right, boy. I'm in the mood for something. Do something different. I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
You have any ideas?
I was thinking maybe plastic surgery. And Dr. Nathan is the key with Dr. Nathan. The thing when I saw some of his the before and after work he had done, the key word is natural. Everybody thinks you want to go get cosmetic surgery and it's going to make you beautiful. It's going to make you a movie star. You know, there are certainly cases where that happens, but the amazing thing about Dr. Nathan's work is how natural it is. Doesn't look like any. If somebody says that's great, you had some incredible cosmetic surgery done. It's not so incredible if they can tell it's cosmetic surgery.
That's for sure.
Go on down and do a consultation with him. Take a look at the before and afters. Nicer man, never walked the earth, and then you decide for yourself after you look at the pictures.
Yeah, I know. You don't want people to say, "Oh, what a great face." You don't want people to be able to tell you had the face work done.
They tell you it's great cosmetic surgery. It's not great because they can tell.
Well, Dr. Nathan has offices in Broward and Miami, and the number we give is a 305 in Miami, but he has a Broward office as well. We just are using the Miami number. His number is listed at stevecaneshow.com, of course, 305-680-5121. 305-680-5121. Well, you know,
It's about 15 minutes from my house.
Yeah, the closer.
Where's that intersection of Flamingo and
Pembroke Road.
Pembroke Road?
That's less than 15 minutes. Well, if you're walking,
it is less
maybe you
than
could walk there in 15.
It is less than
You know, CNN, they just can't understand it. We voted to impeach the president, and he still has popular support. They don't understand it. And because we're supposed to just do what they tell us, I guess. And Brian Stelter over the weekend was trying to he was trying to make sense of the he calls them flatline polls on impeachment. They're just flat. They're not going anywhere. They're not going up. They're not. The impeachment vote happened.
So lucky.
Yeah, so he's trying to explain why the polls are not coming out against Trump after this impeachment vote. Keep in mind, he's not been impeached yet. They just voted on it.
Impeachment is a fact that President Trump cannot deny.
It sounds like he's trying to brainwash. Impeachment is a fact. Accept it. He cannot deny it. Impeachment is a fact. The way Brian...
Especially since he's not impeached yet.
Impeachment is a fact that President Trump cannot deny.
Impeachment is a fact. Don't deny it. It is a fact. He's been... What a bunch of propaganda. But anyway, he goes on.
Impeachment is a fact that President Trump cannot deny, even in this age of alternative facts. And even though some of his surrogates are trying to spin it in his favor and say technically hasn't been impeached yet, come on. These front page headlines...
Come on. He was. Except, how pathetic.
Headlines will be remembered for years and decades to come.
And what he showed on the graphic were all the headlines, impeached. You know, and it was like subliminal messaging right in your face. It was a total brainwash session, but now he's going to get into the polls.
To come. While the House and the Senate are squabbling over the terms of a Senate trial, it feels like the fog over Washington has only become thicker and denser. And impeachment really is
that supposed to be good?
Yeah.
Is a flat line. Look at this. This is from 538. They've tracked all the polls looking at whether Americans support removing Trump from office, going back to early October and the start of the impeachment inquiry. So you can see the story tells itself right here. There's been barely any movement.
Okay, so see, they're very confused. Why have the polls not moved? All the people are supposed to jump off the Trump train. Public opinion would turn against him. And Mayor, yeah.
What you've read so far, he has said both the polls have moved and haven't moved.
Yeah.
He's supporting both positions. He doesn't even know.
Well,
what he's
the
talking
public
about.
opinion hasn't turned against Trump, so now he's going to explain why has public opinion not turned against Trump. So this is CNN, Brian Stelter.
Movement throughout the hearings and the debates on the floor of the House and then to the vote. People are exactly where they were, basically a 50-50 country. So when you hear hype about movement and individual polls, or when you hear Trump claim that he's suddenly gaining tons of support, just remember that it's a flat line.
Okay, see, it's all brainwashing. Impeachment is a fact. It cannot be denied. Remember, it is a flat line. But now he's going to explain why the polls are a flat line.
That it's a flat line. One of the many reasons why is because the Fox News talk radio firewall is holding incredibly strong.
Okay, so Fox News and talk. So what?
That's a ton of reality for him to live in.
Yeah, and what CNN Brian Stelter is saying is that CNN has no influence. This is what he's saying. He's saying they've no Fox and talk radio.
It jumps right out of it.
Yeah.
Because it's the first honest thing he's the first truthful thing.
He didn't mean to say that. That's not what he meant. But that's what he said. He said, we at CNN have no influence. Fox News and talk radio have all the influence. All right, so let me go back a little bit, get the whole thing.
So when you hear hype about movement and individual polls, or when you hear Trump claim that he's suddenly gaining tons of support, just remember that it's a flat line. One of the many reasons why is because the Fox News talk radio firewall is holding incredibly strong. Let's look at a few of the banners from Fox from impeachment night. Look at this. The left's impeachment lies exposed. The sham hits a new level. Talking about Democrats walking off an impeachment. This is my favorite one. Delusional Democrats walk off impeachment cliff.
That's pretty.
That's Fox.
Pretty accurate.
Even CNN watches Fox.
What? Trump couldn't write these banners better if he tried. Come to think of it, though, he does try over on his Twitter account. He's been screaming in all caps earlier in the week. But there's no way to tweet yourself out of impeachment.
It's a reality. Accept it. Oh my goodness. What an what?
Is too funny.
Well, he's frustrated.
Well, they're all frustrated, and they again.
What an
living in a
embarrassment.
cloud.
What an embarrassment for CNN. They don't understand it.
The one thing I remember. Here's where I take a little detour. Based on your age, you might not appreciate this fully, but when Nixon was being impeached,
He was not impeached.
what?
He wasn't
No,
impeached.
when the Nixon impeachment
Talk.
scandal
Yeah.
was going on. I always had to, and I was really active in that one. I mean, I didn't have, I don't think I was on radio at the time of Nixon, but I sure was out on every street corner and every day in New York with signs impeach the. Well, we had some signs that I don't think we would hold up to television standards, but you always had the feeling, if you were a Nixon person, that Nixon was the bad guy and he was the villain, and the papers portrayed him that way, and it was nice to know you were on the side of right.
Well, you were a
These guys
liberal
don't
then.
know good from-
You were your memory is clouded by that you were a liberal.
What do you mean clouded that I was a liberal?
Like
I
you were
was
on the right
against
side.
Nixon.
Yeah, but you were a liberal. That's what you were always against Nixon. You were against Nixon before Watergate.
The point that I'm making is Nixon was a bad guy, no matter whose side you were on. The reality was he was a bad guy. The morality is he condoned things and created events that were purely criminal and purely illegal, and you knew you were rooting for the right guy. Kind of like with you're rooting for the right guy with Trump.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of frustration from Brian Stelter there. I mean, they don't understand because it's been.
Would you be frustrated?
Well, for him to admit it on television, live TV is pretty astounding.
They're getting punchy now. Wait till he gets the latest marching orders. One more impeachment coming up.
Well, come on, no one's gonna. I mean, that's such a joke. It's such a joke. It looks like what it is. But the thing with Brian Stelter there, they really thought it's like I remember the day Mueller testified. Because the Mueller report, first it was going to be the Mueller report. Well, first it was going to be Skanky Daniels.
They were on the wrong
but,
side of everything. And
well,
the biggest thing that's coming down the pike that we haven't even really examined yet, we've only got a little whiff of what's about to occur with the big scandal. And after worrying about it for a while, that maybe these people were above the deep
oh no, they're in
state,
big trouble.
it's going to be a mess.
Well, now it's coming out. There's a story today in the Gateway Pundit that the CIA was running this operation with the FBI on Trump Tower. CIA cannot operate inside the United States. It's illegal.
Yeah, it's going to be, and they're going to go after him too. They're just waiting for the right moment.
They don't want to mess up the holiday.
That is going to be
the
real.
Well, what they've done is every fake scandal with Trump, they thought that would turn it. Oh well, they're the moral majority. Stormy Daniels, that'll turn them away from Trump. That didn't work. Then the Mueller report, that didn't work. But then Mueller was going to testify, and I remember I was watching CNN, and they say, well, the Mueller report reads, kind of like stereo directions. But when you have the author, Mr. Mueller himself, reading the words on television, and then he came out, he's worse than Biden. He's incoherent.
Oh my God.
It's like Gary Busey. He's like he's had brain damage. And now it was the impeachment. Oh, that'll do it. And still it's stronger. They don't get it. They got to just give up with these.
Clearly, Brian doesn't get it. Brian Stelter.
Oh, Brian Stelter. He's my least favorite person on television. He's very, very arrogant. I don't like Brian Stelter was my least favorite person on TV, on liberal TV.
They're creepy, these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I find it hard to watch anything from them. Also, I was watching Fox over the weekend. It's really, the lines have been drawn at Fox. On the Sunday shows, all of the top anchors are now firmly involved in damage control with the Democrats. They don't
Well, Chris Wallace hates Trump like the plague.
Chris Wallace and the other guy. Who's that guy I told you about? The first guy I like.
Britt Hume?
No. He
I don't know who you mean.
questionable. There's one guy. There's the other guy. There's three of these guys. I'll think of it.
Well, Shepard Smith is gone. Was he one of the three?
No. All right, we're ready for our break. We'll be back with the Gold Report.
No.
No?
Half an hour from now.
All right, we'll be back after this.
So you've been told you need
It's
a
8:15.
pay. Health tests can be very expensive if you go to your
I don't
doctor's
know.
office or to one of the big labs. It can cost you hundreds of dollars. Sometimes I haven't had tests because of the cost. Then I discovered Any Lab Test Now of Plantation, where they guarantee the lowest prices on all of their thousands of lab tests.
Tucker and
Plantation's goal is to save you money and get you in and out in 15 minutes or less. At Any
I don't
Lab Test
know.
Now of Plantation, you never need an appointment.
I don't know
can
who you
walk
mean.
right in and have one of their thousands of tests done for just a fraction of what the big labs or your doctor's office charges. Give them a call, 954-916-1072, 954-916-1072. Tell them what test you need, and they will give you a quote right over the phone, 954-916-1072. Any Lab Test Now at Plantation is located in the Jacaranda Plaza. That's the public shopping center.
On the weekend, I don't know who you're talking
Just
about.
west of University Drive, on the north side of Sunrise
On Fox, I
Boulevard.
don't know.
Any Lab Test Now at Plantation.
I don't know who you mean.
Private and affordable lab testing, 954-916-1072.
For the best wings in this town, it's Wings
Who were the first two
Plus.
that you mentioned?
Wings that are
You
first
were
grilled
right.
and
Brady
then
Hume and Chris
fried
Wallace.
to make 'em
I don't know who
extra
else.
crispy, served with blue cheese and celery. Try the Jamaican jerk, the lemon
got it
pepper
for me
wings, the
last
honey
time.
mustard wings,
I don't
the
remember.
garlic wings, and 15 other varieties. That's Wings Plus, located at 9880 Sample Road in Coral
Chris
Springs,
Wallace, this is
with a
what-
politically elite meat.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the Sunshine State after all, and our skin bears the brunt of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor
this
to
guy
take care of
turned
this
the
for you than
strongest
Dr.
doctor.
Jose Mendez. Dr.
I don't
Mendez
know
is
who you
a
mean.
board-certified dermatologist, and when it
Well,
comes
you
to
got it
caring
from
for
your
your
list.
skin and making sure that it is healthy as possible,
Ed
and
Henry?
skin cancer-free,
No.
you want Dr. Mendez as your personal dermatologist. Dr. Mendez is caring and very knowledgeable. Your annual skin cancer exam is covered by Medicare. Dr. Mendez also takes most other insurances. Steve Kane recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined him from head to toe, took off a few things, and now Steve is good to go. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681. When you call, make sure to ask for Sarah. She takes extra good care of Steve Kane listeners and will get you an appointment fast. Early detection of skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
Oh, boy.
All right, we have a puzzle for you. The three big name hosts, well, the top three hosts on Fox News over the weekend, male hosts. One is
Chris Wallace.
I'll give you two, and you got to supply the third. One is Britt Hume, one is Chris Wallace, and the third is
I don't know.
our research department.
Well, usually I know it's Christmas Eve, guys. I know it's Christmas Eve, but
Chris Wallace, it's not Chris Wallace, it's not Britt Hume. Who would the third one anchor be? And he is the one who is most anti-Donald Trump.
I have no idea.
Right.
I'm at a loss. You know,
I'm telling you, we will get it from all
did you
the
see this
experts. Crack addicted staff.
Yeah, did you see this Christianity Today editor, this liberal jerk who says Trump should be?
What is this? There's something going on.
Well, he's born and raised and educated in California. He's obviously one of these liberal Christians. I got a clip of him talking, and listen to his voice.
Making a political judgment about him, because that's not our expertise at Christianity Today. I am making a moral judgment that he's morally unfit, or even more precisely, it's his public morality that makes him unfit, because all of
I love this.
Which is why they opposed, I'm sure, Clinton.
Yeah, here you got this liberal Christian guy. He is the liberals are holding him up as the example of all he is judging everyone else, which is not what you're supposed to do on your high Christian horse.
Making a political judgment about him because that's not our expertise at Christianity Today. I am making a moral judgment that he's morally unfit, or even more precisely, it's his public morality that makes him unfit. Because all of us, anybody in leadership has, none of us are perfect. We're not looking for saints. We do have private sins, ongoing patterns of behavior that reveal themselves in our private life that we're all trying to work on. But a president has certain responsibilities as a public figure to display a certain level of public character and public morality. And the point of my argument is not to judge him as a person in the eyes of God. That's not my job, but to judge his public moral character and ask, has he gone so far that the evangelical constituency that we represent, can we in good conscience do the trade-off anymore?
Okay, so then on Face the Nation, they were talking to him, and they brought, the Christians turn against him. So then Face the Nation, this is a clip from, this is Face the Nation talking about the Christians. They polled them after this story.
Our polling shows that you, sir, are an outlier. 79% of white evangelicals say President Trump is doing a good job as president.
So the evangelicals are, they think this liberal guy from California is going to turn the Christian vote. Everything with them is a scheme. Okay, Christianity Today, it's in all the churches. The Christians will turn against him if we have this article written. Yeah, they have nothing. Everything's a scheme trying to run some scam to get Trump supporters to turn against him.
I can't wait till this thing takes form, this new second impeachment order.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I think that.
Come
I think
on.
this is the battlefield that the war is going to fall on.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to. This is my prediction. It's not that hard. I mean, it's all practically happened already. The Dems are going to bring out the second impeachment idea. There's going to be a big fight over it, and when that fight is over,
yeah,
the Dems are going to lick their wounds and leave.
Yeah.
And realize that their next big chance is in the election. And you know how much, you got two chances in the election, slim and none.
Well, I'm wondering if Nancy didn't send the impeachment over to the Senate because she really didn't want to do it, because she knew what a bad idea it was for the Democrats. So she's done.
Made a big thing of it.
So by not sending it to the Senate, she's satisfying in her mind both sides. She did it, but she didn't.
She stopped. What she's doing is stalling the inevitable while they try to come up with something else.
Try to find new evidence.
Exactly.
All 4 years of investigations isn't enough, but maybe something will come out that they can add to it.
It is sad, and it is.
No, it's great because it's destroying the Democrats. It's not really. It's great. I'm not angry at it. It's great.
I want to see the American people get angry at it. That's the important.
How can you be angry at such good news? The Democrats destroying themselves. I mean, how can that make you angry?
My sister, she's always got a positive viewpoint for everything.
They've destroyed themselves with this. This is reporter from the New Yorker was being interviewed about impeachment. They're very frustrated that Trump people aren't turning against him. So this is a reporter from the New Yorker who's probably that's probably the snobbiest publication in America is the New Yorker.
The stakes here are immense. It's not just about the political future of one man, Donald Trump. It's about the future of democracy and democratic process.
Okay. So the future of democracy and the democratic process to the New Yorker means overturning national elections. That's true democracy. When you go against what the voters want.
And voiding the Constitution, that's another big.
Yeah.
And this is a trend throughout the world. It's about the future of the earth. We have a party that has decided.
If Trump stays president, the earth is done. Done. Yeah, listen.
The future of the earth. We have a party that has decided to be disbelieving about climate change. It's about issues as essential as that. And right now you have a country that is split. And to the great frustration of people like you and people like me, we don't somehow understand. We don't understand
why you're not winning.
The evidence of things, why facts don't penetrate so many of our brothers and sisters in the United States of America. And
They can't.
The facts are not evidence.
They don't understand. Well, they think what they think. New Yorker.
They confuse fans. It's the same story that's been going
Yeah.
on. It's not a new story, although it is the epitome. It's the most vivid example of the fact that because they think something is a fact doesn't make it a fact. In fact, that's
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah, they think they have facts, not
And
opinions.
they're dealing with way out opinions, confusing them with facts.
I remember years ago there was a textbook controversy because a textbook called Evolution, the Theory of Evolution, and the liberals were trying to have that taken out of the textbooks because evolution's a fact.
Right.
But it's called the theory of evolution, not the fact of evolution. The liberals always think they have the facts, not opinions, not theory. You can hear, though, there's a common theme with the liberal media. Their frustration after the impeachment vote, we were supposed to have turned against Trump, and they don't understand why we haven't. Maybe because he's done nothing wrong. Maybe that's it. And even if he did, would we care? They got this news story that right after the phone call, somebody ordered the funding held up. Have you seen this story?
No.
Somebody in the Trump administration that is in charge of such things ordered the funding held up after this phone call. Well, do we know that? Did Trump tell them to do that? I don't know that Trump. And even if they did, so what?
And where is the verification of this?
Yeah, they act as if Ukraine is like some welfare queen in some project, that entitled to all of this money from the United States. That like foreign aid is an entitlement program now. They're not entitled to it. You give countries money with conditions. That's why you give them the money, is to have influence over them.
Exactly right. Exactly. It's an everyday thing. The top Clinton.
There's always a quid pro quo.
The top Trump advisor, his name escapes me at the minute, basically said that.
Yeah.
He says, that's what politics is about. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. That's what's called a political solution, as opposed to going to war.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you don't give countries money for no reason. They're not welfare recipients.
Exactly
Steve Kane
right.
Show.
Exactly right. Okay.
Hey, you want to take some calls?
You want to take one?
I'll take one before the break. All right, you're on the radio. Good morning.
Hey, it's Jeff from Maine. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Did you call with the Fox host I'm looking for here? It's a male host on Sundays. No. This is a male, big name host on Sundays. It's not Chris Wellison. It's not Brett Hume. It's.
He doesn't know.
That is.
Oh.
So what'd you call about, Jeff in Maine?
That minister that was saying President Trump was unfit because of morality and all of that.
Right.
Well, in the same sentence, if King David was alive, they would say he was unfit because he committed adultery, murdered her husband, and then married her. So it doesn't make any sense.
Donald Trump hasn't done any of those things.
That's right. And he's blown it way out of proportion.
So relative to David in the Bible, Trump looks pretty good.
Well, David was a man after God's own heart. No man is perfect, but Donald Trump is perfect for the job. And there's a difference, isn't there?
Well, now, see, the Democrats, their latest scheme is, okay, now we'll work on the Christians, the moral majority. So they think because Christianity Today, which Christians no longer read, and is even more relevant today than it was last week because of this jerk, okay, they think it'll turn the Christian vote against him. It's like another scheme.
Another risky
Brian, I
scheme.
never thought of that.
Yeah.
The thing they're doing is so desperate to get him a black eye, to make people, turn on him. And nobody's turning on him. More people are going for
Steve Kane Show.
All right, we
Steve Kane
thank
Show.
you for your call. And,
Hold on.
we're
Hold
going
on.
to take
One more call and then we'll break. One more call. Yeah, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yeah, I think your host that Steve is looking for is Neil Cavuto.
No.
No.
I mean,
Weekends.
Neil is this is a weekend host.
Oh, I thought it was Neil Cavuto. Neil's a business host.
Yeah.
Well,
He's a never Trumper. He hates Trump. He used to love Trump, and he turned on him.
I don't think
I know.
Cavuto used to have Trump on all the time during the campaign. I don't know what happened to Cavuto.
They're trying desperately over there to balance things, and because too many of their hosts understand what's the reality of what's going on, they're unsuccessful in their efforts to balance. Because it's hard to balance against evil.
I know that.
Steve Kane Show.
Speak highly of him, you know, he has to,
Hold on.
but
Yeah, but something happened with Cavuto because he used to be very pro-Trump, had Trump on the phone all the time during the
What
campaign.
happened is they got a call of all the hosts, and the management announced, look, we're coming across as totally Trump, we're totally pro-Trump. Talk much for a living, Steve.
Well, do you know what time you listen to him, Steve?
It's a Sunday, around midday, Sundays, maybe Saturdays too.
The next caller thinks they know. Good morning.
Hey, the guy you're looking for on Fox is Eric Shawn. And
Who?
he,
No, that's not him.
Eric Shawn, and he's with Aaron Neville's daughter, Arthel Neville. They go together.
From the Neville brothers.
No, not who I'm thinking of.
Are you sure there's a third one on
Yeah,
the week?
well, you know what? Can't you put up on you have that contraption that you say
The internet?
leaves all your yes. That leaves all the
Steve Kane
information
Show.
you need at your fingertips.
Well,
Hold on.
Shawn,
All right, we'll try one more. Good morning. You got to guess.
Good morning. Hello.
Oh, no, they checking down. All right.
All right, now let's take our break. We'll be back now with.
No.
You're kidding me.
It's 8:32. The Gold Report is in the next break.
Oh.
I'm starting to think you're only here for the Gold Report today, because every break you want to go to it, so you can start Christmas.
It's one of the reports
Steve Kane
I
Show.
have a big time vested interest in. What can I tell you? All right, but you want to take a regular break?
Yes.
Okay, we'll be back after this. Right now, the U.S. is in the midst of a deadly opioid epidemic. In South Florida alone, someone suffers an overdose every 2 hours, either from heroin, fentanyl, or some other prescription medication that's as close as the family medicine cabinet. In fact, mom and dad's medicine cabinet is frequently
Kane
the
Show.
gateway to the horrors of hardcore addiction down the road. Drug problems left unattended
Take
are
calls.
only
Take
getting
calls.
worse.
Take the
This
calls.
is not something
Take the
you
calls.
can do on your own. You need expert professional help, and if your family is
No, they don't have their
disintegrating
lineup like
from
that
your
on
eyes
their
and you feel helpless,
website.
I'm here to tell you that help is available. Call my good friend Sal at the Edge Recovery.
No, it's because it's the holiday time. They have fill-in people.
523.
No, there's fill-in people for holiday time.
This
That's
is his
what's.
personal cell phone, 561-523-4325. If your loved one refuses treatment, the Edge Recovery will conduct an intervention and get them into the treatment plan that they need. The Edge Recovery offers every option, from intervention to 30-day rehab to sober.
We're gonna have to record that commercial on Friday.
Therapist, as well as group therapy treatment. It's covered by most insurance, but no matter what your situation is, the Edge Recovery.
We can, but you know, you got to wake your voice up a little bit.
Call Sal at the Edge Recovery. Do it today. 561 area code 523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal cell phone. 561-523-4325.
Yeah, it's got to be good. Well, it's got to be good. I don't want to. Your voice is not commercial.
And every month, of course you would. We all want to save more money. But how? By calling I Will Advisors. That's how. At 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
I'll take care of that later. I got the chiropractor commercial. It's the one we got to record.
I Will Advisors will review your policy at no
Well, I wrote it.
charge. Most homeowners never review their policy, but it should be reviewed every year. You commercial property owners, same goes for your property insurance policy.
Most of it. I mean, I added stuff
I
to
Will
it.
Advisors and start saving money.
But you got to wake your voice up to do it.
753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Well, there's no caffeine here.
There's no caffeine in the building.
Stop paying an outrageous
I don't even think they're
fortune
open,
for
it
your
seems like.
tires. Go easy on your budget.
Not really,
Buy
no.
your tires at Friendly Tire
No.
in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear Tire and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid
He's dead.
With a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for
Yeah.
couples. When
He
you
died.
complete your trust with Attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs.
Remember, he had a motorcycle crash, I think.
With 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca
If I remember
Raton,
correctly.
Plantation, and
I think he had a motorcycle accident.
855 FLA 3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
Oh, man.
All right, we are back.
All right.
Let's plow ahead. Hello, you're on the air.
Oh, hold on. Let me get to the phones. All right, this one. Okay, you're up.
Yeah, good morning, guys. I think it's Howard Kurtz.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the other big guy on the
that's
weekend.
him.
Kurtz, yeah.
Kurtz.
He's turned on Trump, too?
He does not like Trump.
Oh, well, I don't like you, Howard Kurtz, anymore, all right?
Yeah.
Not that he cares.
Am I right with him?
Oh, he moved on. All right, Steve in Royal Palm.
Hey, Steve.
Morning, guys. Happy holidays.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Happy
I have a
Impeachment
friend
Day.
of mine. We go to dinner every Monday. We sit for about 2.5 hours and just talk. He's anti-Trump. I'm pro-Trump. And I walked away last night with the thought process. Every single one of these people that have come up against Trump has gone away with their tails between their legs, totally demoralized, and ridiculed big time. And these are congressmen and senators and TV and newspaper reports. Example, Stalwart. Stalwart, he never met a camera he didn't like. Then all of a sudden they got him on that farting thing, and Trump started making fun of him. You don't hear him anymore. You don't see him anymore. Pencil neck. That's going to be his nickname for the rest of his life.
That's an important part of Don's M.O. He finds a name for all of them, and once he settles on the right name, he uses the most effective tool in politics, which is ridicule. When you make your opponent a figure of ridicule, he's finished. And that's how Trump's done it on and every one of the many ran against in the primary.
But it's not only that, Steve. It's also they do it to themselves. Take Biden.
We're calling and correcting, Billy.
Doddering old man, senile, with a son who's a criminal. Take Nancy Pelosi. They're looking at her son. She is now going to be looked at as psychopath. Every one of these Congress people, these senators, who in the past, these were people you looked up to, people respected, people that were, after they retired, if they didn't die first, were respected afterwards. Now you look at them, you laugh at them. These people from the FBI, the CIA, Brennan, all the rest of them, you look at them like they're clowns.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Lisa Page, right? Not a bad looking woman when you...
Really? Have you seen her? You know, just Strzok's girlfriend?
Yeah, no. This is the point I'm trying to make. Lisa Page, she was going to shape up as a villain because she was one of those opposed to Trump. But when Trump got on during his speech and he did that orgasm bit with her, she even said it when she got up afterwards. She said, "It destroyed my life. It made me, all my friends were laughing at me." That's Trump's. Trump is the one that makes that happen. Trump is the force. He searches around, uses that antenna he has to pull out the what am I trying to say here?
Well, it's a quality of them, like Little Marco, Sleepy Jeb.
The flaw, the Achilles heel.
Yeah.
There you go.
In doing it only. Look at the Kavanaugh trial. They brought out those three witnesses. One was a liar, one was a psychopath, and one finally left. And who was the lawyer? Avenatti. He's looking to be disbarred. He's going to be sued. Trump didn't do that. They did that themselves. All these other alleged witnesses, all these people that Trump. Okay.
All right, I'll tell you, I'm not gonna win this fight, so I'm just gonna bow out by saying Trump picks the spot, finds the vulnerability, makes the initial foray, and the country does the rest.
Hey, Stephen Royal Palm, what do you think? What's going on here? Joe Biden sent his wife to Mexico. She went to Mexico yesterday, handing out hot tamales, campaigning to Mexicans for her husband's presidency. Is Mexico interfering in the 2020 election?
Well, that's probably where his son's going to have to run and hide. If you read the newspaper,
It's bad.
the Post today, they found a house he owns in Los Angeles. The thing is worth millions, and he's crying poverty.
Yeah, and they got it. They're talking about he's involved in some type of money laundering operation.
The money laundering is where all these people are going to get burned. They're saying the money laundering now is into the billions of dollars, not the hundreds of millions, the billions, and it stretches all across all these politicians, their families, business people.
Yeah.
This is insane, and I think this is, it's always follow.
Yeah.
You guys always say, follow the money, and I think this is what they're trying to take Trump down, because if these investigations continue under Barr, I'm waiting. I know it's taken forever, but there's going to be people you read about in the paper every day that we know of, and all of a
You
sudden
know
they're going away.
what? So what are you saying? You don't think all these scandals are going away?
I don't know. If Barr keeps going the way he's going.
Oh, are you talking about the good guys?
Oh, there's no. There's a huge story came out today on Hunter Biden through that paternity case with the baby mama.
Right.
His finances are coming out, and they got a lot of crimes they found, money laundering.
One of the sites I'm at, they say there's 6 separate investigations on him.
Yeah.
On all kinds of felonies, money laundering.
He might be in Mexico. You might be right.
Well, of course, the big enchilada, the final scandal, is the one that's going to break when Barr and all his reports and criminal charges are filed, and that'll be the end game. I'm figuring. I don't see how they can survive that.
All right, Steve, we got to move on.
All right, thank you for your call.
Okay, one more call before the break. Good morning.
Am I on the air now?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, so it's hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
You're on the air. Go.
Okay, if Kim Jong-un does something at Christmas time that is very bad, I hope that everybody is going to get behind Trump and say it happened because the Democrats are taking up all his attention and time.
Well, that's half of it, and the other thing is that they're trying as best they can in their own feeble way to make Trump a figure of ridicule, and they have been unsuccessful. They have lost that battle, and that's why Trump is doing so good and they're doing so bad.
They should not draw it out. They should stop this now. Because the longer they try to do that, the more effective they might get.
Trust in Republican leadership. I can't believe I just said that. But right now, I think they're on the right side, and I think things are going our way, and I think we're going to win this. If we don't win this, we're not going to win anything, right?
I just think they should do it sooner than later.
Okay. I'm with you, dear. Have a happy Christmas, all right?
All right.
And a Merry New Year. We'll be back with the Gold Report after this.
This is Steve Kane with an incredible special from our friends at Brighton Dental. 8 Emax veneers at Brighton Dental, just $49.99. All the other dentists in town charge $10,000 for the exact same veneers. 10 Emax veneers, $59.99 at Brighton Dental. These are the very same veneers that other dentists in town are charging $12,000 for. Get the Hollywood smile you have you've always dreamed of. Call Brighton Dental at 954-922-4633.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the Sunshine State after all, and our skin bears the brunt of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor to take care of this for you than Dr. Jose Mendez. Dr. Mendez is a board-certified dermatologist.
Okay,
When it
younger
comes
man.
to caring for your skin and making sure that it is healthy as possible and skin cancer-free, you want Dr. Mendez as your personal dermatologist. Dr. Mendez is caring and very knowledgeable. Your annual skin cancer exam is covered by Medicare. Dr. Mendez also takes most other insurances. Steve Kane recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined him from head to toe, took off a few things, and now Steve is good to go. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681. When you call, make sure to ask for Sarah. She takes extra good care of Steve Kane listeners and will get you an appointment fast. Early detection of skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, now the moment I have been waiting for the entire show. Of course, we're talking about the Gold Report with William Youngerman of William Youngerman, Inc. William has been delivering the Gold Report each day on the Steve Kane Show for the past 16 or 17 years. I forget, but who's counting? And those of you who followed his advice through the ages certainly can appreciate how good he is when it comes to the precious metals. Whatever you need, he is there and will advise you. Let us turn to our good friend William Youngerman. William, how's your holiday looking?
It's looking good, Steve.
Good.
How you doing?
Excellent.
Good. Well, the precious metals are doing excellent too. I tell you, the markets are moving almost right back up to numbers that we haven't seen in several weeks and months even.
Right.
Gold up nicely yesterday, closing out the day at $1,485.80, well above what was $1,470 resistance last weekend for weeks going back. Silver pulling right through that $1,700 resistance area and closing up about 40 cents yesterday at $17.44. Platinum was up $3 at $935. This morning we got gold higher, up another $4.20 at $1,490 the ounce, getting close to that $1,500 number, which would be the next resistance area, and it wouldn't be surprising if we go through that pretty easily too. Silver up another 12 cents this morning at $17.56, while platinum is up $1 at $9.35, and palladium down $10 at $1,846 the ounce. So good move on the precious metals. Christmas rally for us on the precious metals, Steve, but still a great buying opportunity even at these numbers.
A great day to go down to William Youngerman, Inc., located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road. Now, that is the Bank America building, and William, you'll find William on the first floor, right across the hallway from the Bank America. Whatever your needs when it comes to precious metals, William is there to fill those needs. And if you're buying, selling, or anything in between, William's your man. Also, William, tell them about the currencies.
Yes, indeed. We deal in over 60 different currencies in our foreign exchange department. So if you're traveling somewhere or coming back from a trip and you've got leftover world currencies, bring them on in. We'll be glad to redeem them for you. Like I said, we handle over 60 different currencies. And anything you're looking to purchase in the way of precious metals, we have everything in stock for immediate delivery.
Excellent. Okay, the number to call if you want, 1-800-327-5010, or go to the website, williamyoungerman.com. William, have a great vacation, and we'll talk to you soon, all right? Merry Christmas. And, I forgot to ask him if he's open today.
Now, they're open today. They close early.
Close early, which is what, 12?
Well, I don't know. I don't work there, but I know that.
Oh, okay. There, William was there. I could have asked him the whole time. Okay, William, thank you much.
Yeah, but they are closed. They are open on Thursday again. They're reopening Thursday. So.
Very exciting.
Yeah, but we will not be here Thursday. We're going to be off Christmas and the day after, and back live Friday, so people know.
This is going to be I don't think there's going to be much of a rest on this Christmas. I think the politics are going to keep going like a freight train, right?
I don't know. I think the impeachment is backfired on the Democrats. I think they're really.
It's the impeachment. You're talking impeachment 1 or impeachment 2?
I can't believe they're going to do a second one.
Well, they are, and to clarify it to the audience, you have to make that clear. We have been living through up to this point for the last few days, impeachment 1, which I guess it's not too late to say that one's blown up. They were not able to get the impeachment they wanted with that. They don't want to put up an impeachment that Trump is going to beat. So now they're trying impeachment 2. And that's what we're going to be working through over the Christmas holidays.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, because this is a big thing. We are starting our voicemail message system up again. So anytime we are not on the air, anytime after 9 in the overnight rebroadcast, you can call our regular call-in number, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, and leave us a voicemail message. If it's good, we may play it on the air. But don't bother calling with read this, listen to that, watch that. That won't get played.
It's too late. It's too late to do it today, but we can set it up for our next show, whatever it is. You know what my favorite one of those callers was? Which one?
Oh, the one with Blackwell when he was drunk? I don't think I have that anymore.
Oh, you wouldn't. There's no way you wouldn't just destroy
No,
that.
we had a lightning strike and it burned out our computer and we lost all that stuff. I'm pretty sure because I've looked for it before. It's gone.
Oh my lord, that was the
Well, let's just no more voicemail. We lost that call from 15 years ago, so forget it all. No.
But it's the epitome of what we're looking for. I mean, it was funny.
Well, Blackwell.
He was smashed.
Well, he liked to call in the middle of the night drunk.
Yes. And
he'd go home and have a couple malt liquors, and then he'd call us and leave us messages.
He was drunk on this. There's no getting around that.
Yeah.
And all his true feelings came out.
No, but it happened by accident because one of our sponsors used our number. Back in the Adams World days. So when we weren't on the air, we would turn on the voicemail, and people that were calling would leave a message, and to leave a message for them. And then listeners started calling in during the overnight rebroadcast. And then what I would do with the good ones is I would take them, we'd play them on the show. And on days that we'd play them on the show like once a week, we would pick a day and we'd play the voicemails for the week. And then on days when we were off, like tomorrow and Thursday, we're going to be off for Christmas, I would put together, we'd play a whole hour, sometimes 2 hours of just our voicemail messages. And it was a riot. I mean, it was hilarious. People were great.
And if you got a bone to
Steve
pick,
Kane
if
show.
you're a little annoyed, if you don't think we're being fair to the Democratic viewpoint on this, this is your place to get your feelings out. Just call in and let rip. Try to use judgment in terms of by this point, most of you, especially you accomplished callers, know what goes on the radio and what doesn't. You give us something brilliant, but it's too obscene.
Well, I can bleep things out, but try not to swear. If there's too much swearing, I won't bother.
But we do prefer hostile call. Not that
we'll
censor you.
It's an opportunity for people that don't have the courage to call us on the air to vent, and it's also a great opportunity for the overnight listeners between midnight and 6 to participate. But I don't need anything like, okay, you got to read this article, you got to watch this show. It's got to be something that's worthy. If it goes that direction, I'll know right away. I won't even listen. I'll hit the lead. You want to take any more calls?
Go ahead, take the last one.
You're on the radio.
Yeah, hello, Brian?
Hey, what's up?
Hello?
Yes.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Yeah, I would just like to say, I have not heard this on the news anywhere or from you guys, but there was a trial with Hunter Biden in 2018 with 3 of his associates. They got convicted of scamming $60 million
I don't know anything about that.
And he didn't get anything.
I know nothing about that.
Oh, Trump is getting impeached.
Okay, this is an example of what we don't want on The Voice. No, I'm not criticizing you. I'm just using to make a point. This is an example of what we don't. We need something more interesting, not.
And something preferably that's
Yeah, thanks for
true.
the call. Yeah, not one of these look it up kind of callers, but because that I won't even play those. But it's the same number 1-888 go Kane 1-888-465-2631 every day after 9 o'clock. You can call and leave us a voicemail, and we may play them on the air. I'm hoping that we can get that back. I've tried to bring it back a few times, and it's kind of not gone too well anytime we've ever tried to do it. So
We had the audience is different. There is no question of that. We used to have a lot of feisty. We have done, unfortunately, to most of our opposition, what Trump has done to his.
we've converted them to our side.
Well, I don't know,
Of things.
converted, and as opposed to dragging, kicking, and screaming. But whatever it is, they've lost a lot of their nerve.
Oh, we'll
But
find out.
Who knows? Maybe in the new year, we'll start getting those hostile calls.
We'll find out.
I don't want you to get the wrong idea that we don't enjoy intelligent callers that will go back and forth and discuss things in an interesting manner. But if you're a nasty SOB and you have
Yeah.
a little bit of sense,
Yeah.
common sense, those people make the best
Well,
calls.
to play it, it's got to be something that's okay. We got this voicemail. It's really interesting. It's got to be entertaining.
Yeah.
Not just like a boring. I want to comment on Trump. I'm opposed to the impeachment.
put a little
I'm not gonna
pizzazz.
play that. I'm not gonna. I won't even listen to. I'll just delete it if it's going that direction.
That does it for today. We wish you a Merry Christmas, and we will be back. When are we back? Friday?
Friday. We'll be off tomorrow, which is Christmas. The day after, and back live Friday.
Until then, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
All right, guys. See you later. Make sure you subscribe if you don't. All right. Take care.